This is the next big pot.
Ted Elini scores a contest 112, 115. Judge Paul Thomas 112, 115. Judge Donald Trella 113, 115. The winner. And the new WBO Super Featherweight Champion of the world from Cambridge in Scotland, Ricky Bones.
The dream comes true for Ricky Bones. Not a huge shot in the arm.
I laid out the blueprint. Yes, they gave him the decision. They gave him the fight. He beat me, but the blueprint is right there. Just look at it. I took it out of the vault and I handed it over to Canelo Alvarez.
To be honest, Jackson's the biggest sport for inside boxing. Your reaction to David Price and Frank Morley calling me out that midget, yeah. I'll fight David Price any day of the week. To see you come from Liverpool, it's personal between me and you. I'm going to do you some serious, big stiff in you, okay? Alright, thanks a lot.
No, brilliant, like I say, for the centre of South Gloves Community Centre. Amir Khan gets a big fight with Pacquiao and the world champions, the lads that are coming through. It'll be a fantastic. I'd equate this to the Kronk in America way back in the time.
You know what? Fuck Joe Gallagher.
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 I got him in the cage, man. Not the cage.
The plan is to have Algieri knock Pacquiao out.
Yes, but I still got him in the cage. He listens to me very well. Let him listen.
Round 10?
Round 10 or 11.
Now we have one other thing to do, and that's to fight Thomas Hearns. And I'm planning on breaking every bone in his body.
But what works is they're going to go and chase Leo Santa Cruz. I told them, and I told them on Wednesday, you're not going to get Santa Cruz. Like I told them, you're not going to get Martinez.
Now, coming to you live, the next big pod.
Welcome back to the next big pod. I am your host, the Fat Jesus. Shep's not here. He's away. I don't know.
He's getting another bride, isn't he? He's in.
He's away to get another wife. That's probably eat a couple of greyhounds, something like that. So I'm back hosting tonight. On the call we've got Sam, Ainsley, Cal somewhere. Tom's been kicked off already, and we've not even started it. And making his return, we've got Rocco. Before we get started, I just basically want to apologise for the boxing asylum last night. For people that were listening to that, now, if people don't know, they had people on last night that was apologetic towards buying a pay-per-view. No, I mean, I don't agree with the whole concept of the pay-per-view. I don't even believe that the likes of Floyd Mayweather and that should be pay-per-view. Basically, you should basically get what the fucking TV networks are going to pay. Right, none of this like you have to pay above and beyond. But you had like one fucking floppy penis that has done nothing but try to take the moral high ground with the likes of pay-per-view, be saying that he'll stream this, he'll stream that, and boxing shouldn't be on pay-per-view, it should be on Sky Sports. But then goes and buys a pay-per-view himself and makes a right fucking mug his whole argument in the first place. I mean, I seen like we'll call him out here. Press pass, Paul. We know you're a faggot. So Ainsley, you had a bit of back and throw with him.
He's a fucking dickhead. He like all this bullshit for months and months and months.
What the fuck
all these little fucking shitty articles. Oh, pay-per-views, fucking bullshit. It's not a good. It's a flawed model. Blah 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 blah. And then he goes and pays for it. And then not just that, he pays for that, and then he's trying to fucking get on his high horse about all this team stream shite. And he's fucking streamed the bleeding Vlad Fury fight. and fucking tweeted about it, acting all fucking arsey. He's a fucking moron. If you're gonna have a stance on something, have it. Don't just decide to change your mind and then start fucking giving all this shit out one and the other. Last night was an embarrassment.
I've just seen you on the video. Nearly choked there. No, my point was like, I don't even think he's against the idea of pay-per-view. I just think he's against the idea of one person being on pay-per-view, and that's Tyson Fury.
Yeah, we know why that is, don't we?
Oh, we know why that is. We don't really want to get in there, although it's because he's xenophobic. But I just wanted to kind of clear that up, just so people know where we stand on this. I know Andy and Tommy gave it a right good go last night, and fair play to them. They shouldn't have only been muted. They should have been kicked off the show. But you can't really lob Andy in with that. No, sorry, Adam in with that, because Adam's never shied away from the fact that he calls himself a casual and he'll pay for stuff like.
It's not even.
Fair play him. At least he's honest about it. But press pass is a helmet. He's in fact he's not even a helmet. He's just the foreskin. That's all he is.
But Spidos said, Adam said from the fucking day one, he's not come out with this little mock crusade against pay-per-view and sat whinging about Box Nation because the fucking tables aren't right and decided to say, oh well, all these people fucking care about is watching a fight on a phone screen. When he's fucking sat there streaming shit himself, just because he's got a problem with a certain fighter.
I mean, like, my stance is, see if I don't agree with it, I'll just not watch it, which is exactly what I done on Saturday night. We're obviously going to go into that, where I'll not be able to talk about the fights. I know well, people can take this sort of fucking stance here, like, oh, you're a stingy type bastard. It's basically the pay-per-view model. The pay-per-view model is what actually keeps boxing alive. So I tweeted earlier on because I forgot. I went to an amateur show on Friday night. It's like a local boxing club around the corner. My nephew fights for him as well. He's like the Scottish champion. So I went to that. I supported that. That's basically what's supporting boxing and keeping boxing going. Because if none of us turn up to these amateur shows and pay that, where are they going to train? Who's going to train them? No cunt. Where's the boxers going to come from? The casual boxing fans actually think that fucking like Hearn's got some sort of lab down in his big massive house here where he's just kind of like fucking the film Aliens where there's just a big pod where there's like squeezing out boxers. No, it's like fucking amateur shows that we go to. So I support it more than any of you, we fucking lesbians. But I wanted to clear that up because I'm in a good mood and Trespass is a prick. Right. I don't even know where to start. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start like London or do you want to start in Las Vegas?
Get the London shit out of the way.
You want to start with the London shit?
Yeah, get it out of the way.
I'll let you all wade in this because I've not even seen one fucking fight here, and I didn't even know everybody that was on the card because I didn't care.
Right, well, Macklin and Rose to start with was a fucking awful fight between two people who have no business being on a card of that magnitude. It should be. Well, you know what I'm going to say, like, fucking big pay-per-view card like that, if it's going to be pay-per-view, it should be solid fights all the way through, not two fucking shot bums. Well, Rose was shit to start with, Macklin was much better. It was awful, it was scrappy, it was disgusting. Macklin is shot, whatever he's still doing fighting, I don't have a clue. He should just retire. Rose's nose obviously fell apart within the first... How long was it? About 10 seconds, the first jab, it started bursting open. It was awful, the scores was bad as well. Macklin... I had Macklin winning it by a round, but two judges had it 4 points in it, which is disgusting. What did you lot think of it?
I scored it to Rose, but I do struggle scoring the fights when I've got bets on the fights because you tend to just give all the close ones to your man. So I had it Rose, and I thought, fuck it, Macklin's dirty. He did the exact same against Wellborn as well. Like as soon as it's not going his way, he'll start fucking going low all the time, and he does it sneakily where like puts his shoulder up so ref can't see. He does it all the fucking time. He got 1 point off, and I thought they could have maybe took another one off. And then in the last round, they took one off Rose for holding. Like he hadn't even fucking warned him, and he just suddenly takes it off to make it even.
It wasn't excessive at all, was it? It wasn't excessive holding.
It was fucking shite, and like the fight was shit, and it just set it off on like a bad like taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it set the tone for the card, didn't it?
I didn't pay. I went to a friend's house. Like 5 of us there. he paid. He don't give a shit. He got loads of fucking money, so he bought in. Obviously, if there's 5-year round, you don't want to be fucking getting round a laptop either. So we weren't ever going to be doing that. It was. I felt like I'd been robbed, even though I hadn't paid for it. By the end of the night.
You know, I don't really want to say this because of the repercussions here, but you think Macklin would see the telltale signs of being shot, considering the amount of people keep getting shot round about him? I hope you said that out because I don't want that getting out there because I don't want fucking killed and I want a job with him. I want my beer. Ooh yeah.
But yeah, other than the obviously we won't talk about the main one. Yeah, I'll just talk about the undercard. The only fight that I found any interest in really was Selby Hunt, and he looked quite good to start with. He was quite sharp, bit lazy, but he was quite unpredictable. Like Selby kept getting caught with the fucking counters, but he just didn't throw enough punches. It's dropped my opinion of Selby down a fair bit. So I think if someone with work rate with the same amount of talent as that Hunter fights him, I think he might be in trouble. Like before Saturday, I probably would have picked Selby to beat Gary Russell Jr. Now, I'd pick Russell Jr. to beat him every day of the week, to be honest.
I think that's a bit unfair. Like, other than the second round when he got dropped in a 10th, he won every round with ease. He wasn't ever in trouble by that second round.
I know. I'm not saying he was in trouble, but like the guy only threw fucking 8 punches around, and he hit him with pretty much every punch he threw. So if Gary Russell Jr. just throws about 3 million punches around, which is the fastest man I've ever seen. And I think Selby will be in a bit of trouble if he takes a fight with someone like him. You know, I don't think he will take a fight with someone like him, so you don't need to worry. But his stock's gone down for me a little bit. I still think he'd fucking wipe the floor with people like Warrington. But I think at the top level, I'd rank him behind the other champions.
Rocco, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, mate, I meant the Pringle.
Did you see this card?
No, I only see the Joshua fight.
You see the Vine?
No, I've seen it. Well, yeah, the Joshua fight, which basically was a Vine, yeah.
Can we talk about Conor Ben?
Yeah.
Well,
what was that about? Why is Selby and McDonnell not kicking off being on a pro day on a kid making his debut? They're fighting underneath him. That's embarrassing. They should get the fuck out of there. That's the sort of shit why Frampton left him, trying to put him on Campbell's undercard in Hull. They're both world champions, man. What are they doing? How is that acceptable?
To be honest, though, as soon as the fucking McDonald started walking to the ring, we just started racking up lines and turned over to the boys. So I don't give a fucking shit about him.
Oh, classic. Oh, I don't know, man. I'd be more concerned. I don't know if social services will be getting in contact with that family today. Was that not? That was sexual exploitation after the fight, was it not?
There was a bit too many kisses, wasn't it? Like one, you can kind of give one a pass.
But I know Cotto's like that with his Wayne, but Cotto does pegs. That was a full fucking lumber. I was waiting for him to slip a wee finger.
They were like fucking dog pound incest. And he looks like a great little wanker as well, Ben. Like, what's he doing? Why do all these boxers have to have 28 horrible tattoos? Why can't one of them just say, actually, I won't fucking colour in my body? Fucking embarrassing. His tattoos are nearly as bad as etches.
Man.
Groves and Brophy was, again, pointless. Brophy did fuck all for 4 rounds and then quit.
Yeah, that was a quick job.
I mean, that fight shouldn't have happened in the first place, but who was responsible for that? Was it Hearn? Was it like Southerlands?
From what I've read, Hearn offered Brophy the fight. The Southerlands had nothing to do with this. And I think they didn't expect Brophy to take it, but they offered it him anyway, and he said yeah. And obviously, because he's probably the cheap option, they just give it to him. But before the fight, apparently he'd been giving Callum Smith like tough sparring and that. But it's just fucking bollocks that comes out the mouth just to make it seem like an acceptable fight when it's obviously not.
I mean, how many people gets hard sparring? Ricky Burns is meant to be the best spar probably in Britain. The amount of fight, like the pace that he goes at and the amount of fucking people he gives it to. The spar doesn't really mean much. Like I said this before, like Selby. Selby's meant to be an absolute fucking monster in the gym, right? Like that Benavides who was in like Freddie Roach's gym, the wild card, and it just doesn't seem as if they kind of can turn it over like with fight night. And I don't know whether it's maybe to do with they're taking too much weight off and they can't deal with like being like featherweight. Benavides was a light welterweight, so I don't know whether it's like with that, but you can't really take stories. But I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. is a fucking legend doing spar stories. You know, fucking like he smashed Froch. That's a whole like how his like half man image like fucking built up because he gave Froch an absolute doing. So.
But like, because I always think this, like, when you see Klitschko sparring partners, and like some of them are like from the Russian like amateur system, and like like these people you've never heard of that are like ranked 300th in the world on box records heavyweights, and they're used as his sparring partners. So like with Klitschko, does he just bring like him in for 2 rounds or something and just keep like turning him over like with shite as opposed to getting one good guy? So they can basically just go for him for 2 rounds and then move on to the next.
I don't even know why Vlad's still going. I mean, see if I was Vlad, I'd be in the house and just getting the fucking Bobby sucked right off me with that wee cheerleader. Why the fuck would you want to keep fighting? I mean, you're a multi-millionaire anyway. You're not some fucking pleb that blows your money like Floyd and buys hundreds of fucking Mr. T change and that. Like, you've got plenty of money. You've got a wee hang that's half the size of you. Just hanky that. Hanky anytime you're trying to get a fucking tip in and she's like, oh, it's too sore. How turned on are you going to be like that? Every time you pump her not, you've absolutely fucking butchered her, and she's like, I need a fortnight off. That's masculine, ain't it? You don't need to go to Manchester to fight a fucking gypsy to get beat again. Just fucking sit in the house and absolutely drill the nan box clean off her. But Rocco, so you didn't see one fight other than the Joshua card, then, no?
No, I didn't order that shit, and I told you I work Saturdays. I don't watch these insignificant fights. So, you know, I know this is a boxing podcast, and I am a boxing fan, but I said 2 days ago, I've sort of fallen out of love with it. I'm only interested in the big, well, not big, meaningful fights where I don't know who's going to win. I could have told you who was going to win every one of them fights Saturday.
Did you get any fares down the O2 or not?
Nah, I didn't go nowhere near it. But I'll see the Joshua one on my phone, plotted up somewhere.
I seen the fucking fight because I'd been somewhere and I looked just starting on, and someone had done a live like Facebook video of the entire fucking thing.
I seen somebody sitting Skype periscoping it, and fucking there's thousands of cunts watching it on Periscope.
It was, as you said, though, you could put it in a vine. Do you know what I mean? It was that quick. So.
But we all know that it was going to happen. I mean, I can't really have a lot of opinion of fuck all because, like, as I say, I've not watched it. But what was the situation with Selby and Hunter? What was actually happening at? Because I was reading it through like Twitter when I was sitting watching the Barcelona game, and I was just basically getting kept up to date through like Twitter. So. The way it was made out here is like Selby's shots were basically above his belly button, and there wasn't a lot of low blows, and it was because of fucking Selby that was happening. But it was a wee moany bastard.
Yeah, the ref was just one of them where he got on his case early doors, and then he kind of had to stop the point. He was being a fucking arsehole to both. But, you know, when you talk to them like the school kids, it pisses me off that because fucking fighting. And as I was watching it, one of the lads just said, why don't that little black one just smash the referee? And I was like, hey.
Were you sitting with casuals like?
Oh, proper, yeah. They were only interested in the Groves and the Joshua fight, to be honest. They're all telling me that he's going to be Fury now. We're not talking about boxing, we'll just watch it.
Wait, was that Cannibal at the party we used?
No.
No?
No.
She could get done with GBH, I can tell you that. So was there not one fucking good fight on this card at all?
No.
What about Hara Davis?
Didn't watch it.
What about Ted Cheese, man?
Didn't watch it. They was on proper early, weren't they? They was like 6 o'clock.
I cannot believe. I really can't believe that Conor Benn was on before. Like it was just on before George Groves, wasn't he? So he was on. He was on after like.
Yeah, he was on.
He was on after a world title and quote unquote another world title. I cannot believe that fucking Jamie McDonald and that are not kicking up fuck about this. Surely they were fucking right pissed off. I mean, that damn opponent that Jamie McDonald had, fucking Fernando Vargas, did he not struggle to even make the weight?
Yeah, he had to re-weigh. He was
Oh,
over,
fuck.
but he made the weight in the end.
But he was a fucking midget as it was.
He'd never fought that low before, I think, or was that the first guy they fought over, or tried bringing over?
That were a farce though, because it was like one guy had 9 days, and they were acting like. Then they were acting like they got really unlucky. They got out, and then the other one had 5 days. I'm like, why the fuck are you giving the first guy 9 days for a world title fight on a pay-per-view?
Because it's not a world title.
Well, yeah, all right, but
and someone's put in a chat that fucking McDonald's apparently said he got 300 grand for that.
Oh no, I doubt that.
Right, I'm just fucking saying. I'm not saying this is the case. But what happens if Heyman's paying some shit?
Yeah. Sam should know because he said the guy says that he said it on IFL, and as we all know, Sam watches every fucking morning now.
I didn't see that. Oh, I didn't hear that.
Right, well.
I might be wrong because I wasn't really paying attention.
But Hearn doesn't fucking pay Brooke 300 grand, so it's probably because he used it all in Club Tropicana.
What? All right then. If
That's
McDonald was 300 grand, what would Groves get? Because he don't come cheap, does he?
Yeah, be getting 750 or some shit in comparison to that fucking load of paste. But you don't know because fucking I swear Hearn just pulls numbers out of his fucking backside. Or you just got a random number generator. What should we pay the fighters today?
Well, he said Stephen Smith would get life-changing amount of money. He's on about 37 grand.
Yeah, but he said that about fucking Brian Rose. Oh yeah, he earned all this and that. And then Brian Rose says, yeah, it was fucking shit money.
Shit money to go and fight, wasn't it? Like someone that no one's heard of that's very good. Cheers.
Brian Rose, what a fucking bum.
But yeah, the whole card was shy, and it didn't look like it was going to be that good on paper, but it was worse than it even looked. So it kind of they got what they deserved putting that card on. But the problem is they don't even need to put a card on. Do you know if they've got Joshua against Fury? Let's just say Joshua Fury happens next year. There will not be an undercard, and fans will be like happy with that.
Oh, there'll be one guarantee if that fight happens next year that Hugh Fury will be on the undercard and he'll be linked to about 50 boxers, and by the time the fight comes around, it'll be some fucking cabbage, as happened for about 2 years.
He'll fight his Uncle John.
Cunt looks if he can fight or fuck.
John will rip his eyes out.
Oh, don't mention the Furies here. Fucking the racist is in the chat.
Is Paul in the chat?
Yeah, he's still raging on Twitter as well, the fucking idiot.
Fight me, Paul, you big fucking homo.
Rocco, are you there?
Yes, mate.
Because last night, one of Paul's quotes, the press pass, was that he'd prefer to watch Joshua against, let's say, Malik Scott than Fury against Klitschko in the rematch.
I heard that, yeah.
What are your thoughts of that?
Well, it's a bit of a silly.
Would you say it's stupid?
It is stupid, and it's like
Thank you. Yeah.
It's like if you've got a problem with a certain promoter or a certain fighter, and you just can't say anything positive. I mean, you know, that's like being a what.
That's
one's a competitive fight, and one is just basically someone you know is going to knock the other geezer out, whether it's in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. It's not.
I think it's got to the point where he's just cutting his nose off despite his face now, just to be like anti-Fury. Like, how could you not want to watch the 2 best in the division as opposed to watching maybe the 6th or 7th best against like the 50th best? Makes absolutely no sense. That Charles Martin last night would have lost to about 7 British heavyweights, maybe more.
But he's in saying that, he's basically saying, I don't want to fucking see Floyd fight money, I'll pay to watch Brook fight Bizier.
Yeah.
It is. It's the fucking same thing, right? We all know what happens when the best fighters in the division fight each other. It's generally pretty shit, but it fucking rarely happens, and you don't know what's going to happen. You can't.
Exactly.
So why would you then say, "Oh fuck it, I'll pay for something that's pretty much a predetermined outcome," where one guy is basically me but a bit taller?
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. Like. That is a casual view of things. Just saying, "Oh well, I know he's going to get knocked out," and that's a casual view of it. Fucking, how many punches did Martin land?
We know press pass now. He came out last night. Pretty much, he sits at home wanking over Mike Tyson knockouts. That's the sort of casual he is now.
I reckon press pass runs KO Kings.
I actually think that Martin landed 3 punches, and like 2 of them were just them pathetic jabs that he put out there at about half a mile an hour. That were like, he was basically just asking to be fucking countered. He was so shit. I said before that Dillian Whyte had absolutely wiped the floor with him, and now that's just like.
I think the White Rhino would fuck up Charles Martin.
Yeah, he would probably.
John McDermott would be doing shit. Sorry, talking about John McDermott. John McDermott would have been doing the Ali Shuffle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he would.
He was just a big fucking lump of shite. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I love wee stupid quotes. Bastard, I was going to take Brian on the coup. And let's see when he's like, I walk among gods and stuff like that, and like, people are like, oh, look at the fucking state of you. I find that fucking funny, because it's just pure.
Like a god.
They're fucking down with that shit. Obviously, we knew it was full of shite, but you like that? It's just pure fucking arrogance. And like, people get after the fight and all, fucking, bet you look fucking stupid now. Well, I would rather people turn around and say, I fucking walk the earth like a god, than turn around and saying, I'm still learning, I'm staying humble.
Fury's brain, not Fury, Joshua's brain is like just a quote generator in it, of like just boring things to say.
Let's get this fucking right here. Joshua is nothing other than a fucking Uncle Tom. All he is interested, he is just basically a sponsorship whore. He is a slut. He wants fucking nothing. How much money is enough money? The guy's made for life anyway. Why do you need to keep fucking sucking on the tip? Your corporations, why do you need? Like I said yesterday, Mike Tyson was a horrible, horrible bastard, but he was still fucking sponsored by fucking Nintendo. No, maybe that was definitely it was before he fucking raped her, but right, we understand that. Pretty sure that Nintendo wouldn't bring a game out for that.
Yeah, can we just say we're not asking Joshua to go out and rape a woman? We're
asking Joshua. Look, Joshua is an ex-drug dealer who threatened to murder people, who kicked fuckers' doors in, who took drugs off the other drug dealers, who was on remand. Let's not forget he was on remand for a separate charge here, and he said it was just stupid things like fighting. You do not get put on remand for fighting. You get put on remand if you've done something fucking nasty as fuck. I know people that get fucking put on remand and all that for like attempted murder and stuff like that. I'm not saying that he done that, but he done something fucking really bad, right? He sold drugs and on. See that press pass last night, it was only 6 ounces. I'm pretty sure it was 8. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 or fucking 8. 8 ounces is still a lot of shit. See if it was 8 ounces of coke, man, he would be doing fucking hard time. They wouldn't have got away with that. And it doesn't matter whether it's fucking dope or no. Drugs. He got off with it because of who he was in the... They obviously see the potential in him, and they made sure that he didn't get fucking put in jail. He should have been treated like the rest is. He should have been fucking banged up in jail. Same as that wee fucking pleb Messi. He get pumped full of HGH, and now he's a fucking superstar, the wee queer hawk. Right? But, Josh, stop acting like a wee fucking fanny and we'll take to you. How can you support a guy that you know is fake as fuck? How can you?
They love it though. They love this media trained bollocks. The casuals lap it up.
But it's like... And so it's all this, they just hate him. I don't hate him. I just hate this fucking nonsense where you see him getting asked a question and you fucking see the cogs going and like, shit, what's the answer with Rhea to this? It's like when fucking Mayweather gets interviewed. It's bullshit. You can fucking tell because they're not thinking about what they're saying. It's thinking about what they're supposed to say.
And
He started thanking God and all that shit now.
When was it Mayweather changed? When he came out of jail and got that Showtime contract. That's exactly. What was he doing before he went to the jail? Slagging Pacquiao, racially abusing him on fucking YouTube clips, saying he wanted to do this and do that to people. Leather a bird. We're not condoning that anyway, but he fucking left check cooked his fucking ex, didn't he? And put her
in front of the kids.
Ah, you wee fucking grassing bastard. That's an odd thing. You wee fucking grassing bastard stinking your dan for batting your maw. What a fucking snitch.
Yeah, but basically what we're trying to say is just have
be yourself.
Innit? Yeah, have a personality. But Fury's got a personality, and he gets fucking slated to the ground for it. So you can't win, I suppose, can you?
But I think it's worse. So like the Furies and whatever, they've had a fucking checkered past. They've been open and about it and all this, so they can say all right. And well, but with AJ, because they won't say anything about it, it's just like, well, what the fuck?
Well, they do. They mention it briefly, but he's a reformed man.
Yeah,
He's
but they
changed
don't
his life
go
around.
into any detail, do they? They skim over it, and it's like
Because they don't want you to know the details,
exactly.
do they?
That's what I'm saying. It's all fucking gerrymandered, isn't it?
And what did I say last week? The British media love nothing more than building somebody up to fucking break them down, because eventually, and I know boxing's any sport, but eventually one of them's going to fucking dig up his past and find out exactly what he done, and they're going to fucking post it. Exactly going to post it.
Well, they're just waiting to see how big he gets, isn't it? Because they'll fucking know already, but the bigger he gets, the more lucrative it is. And then if he fucks up, they'll just drop it anyway.
I mean, I heard last night on the Asylum that somebody asked, can he get to America? I have never seen any fucking proof that he's been to America yet. I know he said he was wanting to go to the...
He's been to Cuba, I mean, but not... I don't know about America.
I know he said he was pissed off because he wanted to go to... What was it? Mayweather Pacquiao, but he get fucked on the Birmingham show, but there's no fucking proof here that he's been over it. And you would think...
Yeah, but Richard Towers gets into America just
Yeah, but Richard Towers weren't a drugs charge, was it? It was just like...
Yeah, but he tied some fucking cunt to a radiator.
Yeah, I know. That's not ideal, but I'm pretty sure the Yanks are fucking stupidly harsh on drugs. And 8 ounce, I know Press Pass like probably deals that every morning, and like how we were acting, it was like a fucking... Like
I wish fucking Press Pass fucking smoked 8 ounce and just fucking killed her.
Like he had a gram of it or something. 8 ounce, like street value, is probably
40. It's about £4 million.
What, in weed?
1,600.
8 ounce of weed.
About 1,600 quid nowadays. About 200 quid an hour.
What the fuck's this weed he's got over 8 ounce of it?
It makes you big and strong like AJ.
That weed's got fucking ketamine in it, and that's some very good fucking weed. Weed!
But yeah, so you like 1,600 quid's worth of weed on you. If I get caught with 1,600 quid weed on me, I'm going to prison. Just because he fucking was in like the amateur GB squad, that shouldn't mean that you're allowed to fucking do what you want. That's like surely that's the wrong thing to like tell to kids. Oh, if you're in a privileged position and getting paid 30 grand a year anyway, off the fucking government because you're quite big and can hit someone hard, then you can really just go around selling.
It's not just weed, man.
Of course it's not just fucking...
It's not just fucking weed. You don't get put on fucking remand. And how long were you on remand for? Like 6 months?
No, the remand was... No, that was... he got the tagging off for the dope, but it was he got remand for like fighting and other daft shit that he doesn't like, mention, but his exact words were fighting and other...
Yeah, fucking unless he's fighting with a fucking knife, try to fucking take someone's head off or some shit.
Before we can move on here, right? This is a Monday night. It's 38 minutes past 8. 10 minutes ago, I got a fucking private message, and I don't even speak to this guy, right? And this is the message. No, this is a tad random, mate, but do you know anyone that sells diazepam and tramadol? Got someone looking for a whack, but can't he get any?
Alex, that was it.
Alex, yeah.
Tom's probably got a fucking absolute full cabinet.
How long's Alex live away from you? About an hour?
He's miles away, isn't he?
It would take no more than an hour for me to get there. Maybe drive down later on and shag him. I bet Alex is not a selfish lover. I bet he's a proper giver. all about the fucking balls and gooch.
I don't know. I think obviously Press Pass came out worse last night, but Alex once again gets the sickness on a fucking MVP night, doesn't he? So
To be fair, he probably tried to kill himself after the fucking asylum last night.
Oh, I can't fucking wait till you die, Press Pass, man. I'm going to go to your funeral, and I'm going to have fucking 2 bits of steak pie, and I'm going to have some of the chicken. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drink like fucking apple juice and that, and I'm going to do a shit on your coffin. Logs. Right, see, I wrote this down because I just want to kind of just go over a wee bit. See, I know this concept of like pay-per-view where they basically say that we need pay-per-view because fighters get paid, right? Fuck off, and it keeps boxing going, right? But here's my look on it. Pay-per-views don't keep boxing going because it's only going to one person. Well, it's going to 2. Like, we'll just say Joshua, right? It's going to Joshua and it's going to Hearn, right? But like Froch, the money's not trickling down. He's maybe putting on an undercard of shite fights, right? But it's not trickling down where, for saying, at the weekend, he must have made a fucking mint. Maybe because the market coming over, it cost him a bit, but he'll make a profit, right? But my point is, he's going to be on a pay-per-view like maybe July, August. That money isn't then getting distributed where he's going to turn around and say, I tell you what, we've made that amount of profit, we're going to try and fucking overpay Danny Garcia to get him over here for Kell Brook for a big fuck-off fight. We're going to pay for Moreno or Payano for McDonald. I'm trying to think of like fucking other things. We're going to try and, we'll just say, we're going to try and get Lomachenko. We know that's not going to, we're going to try and get Lomachenko for Warrington for a big fight in fucking Leeds. This isn't see if the whole argument was that this was helping make better fights, then I would kind of fucking soften my blow a bit with it, but it doesn't. That's not what it does. All it does is it gives 2 people fucking money. It's making Hearn a profit, which is right. He's fucking very well entitled to. Everybody knows my political views. I'm not a capitalist. I'm fucking totally against it because it just encourages greed, right? But if he takes like his profit and gives some of it back, then fucking by all means, that's absolutely fine. That's just the way the world works. But he doesn't do it.
Yeah, but
sorry, on you go.
Right, so that's a fair look at it, and what you've got to do is look at what's happened since AJ fought White. Right, they got like fucking 400,000 buys for that sack of shit. Just think how much the fucking combined purses would have been on there. Have you seen any of that money go anywhere in the 4 months since?
No, of course, they must have made money off of the Frampton fight as well, because that undercard was absolutely pants as well.
It's fucking shit.
See this pay-per-view argument, right? I've heard him say it, where he said, like, basically, to get the big names over here, he needs the fights to be pay-per-view. But you look at the pay-per-views he's put on, obviously, Abraham coming over to fight Froch, but then Groves-Froch was an all-domestic clash. Groves-Froch won. Groves-Froch 2 was an all-domestic clash. Bellew-Cleverly and the May 31st one and AJ White were all like domestic clashes. There weren't no. I suppose the May 31st one he had what's his name?
Gradovich and Selby.
Yeah, Gradovich and Mitchell fought Linares. But what I'm saying is, like the top of the bill, he wasn't having to. He wasn't saying like you said the other day.
No, it's basically kind of in-house. It's not fights that he's not bringing international boxers over here. What he's doing is he's basically it's only domestic fights that he can seem to generate interest. Not interest, but that's the only fights that he's been able to make. And he's always trying to make out he's like some sort of popper when it comes to like trying to get these top Americans over. I mean, Charles Martin's not no top American. See if Hearn paid for Wilder to come over, then we'd be like, fuck me.
But I forgot about that. But has Hearn put any money in since Froch Groves 2? Has he fuck? Right, that is just bullshit. If you think all the fucking money that them idiots made then, what you name since then, the fucking big names that Hearn's brought over. And not any British big fights, because that's bullshit. They don't need to start fucking...
That's what I just said.
Name one. Yeah, when was that? That's nearly fucking 2 years ago now.
You can even go further than that. It's not like they're just domestic names. They're domestic names that he manages to fucking sign a couple of months before so he can put them on a shit card so everyone can look at them screaming at each other outside the ring. And so he's probably taking a fucking cut of them both sides of the fucking...
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
So he signed, like, he did it with Cleverly, he did it with Frankie Gavin.
But if you... Let's go through some of the pay-per-views, right?
Groves.
So, like, Froch Groves one, that shouldn't have been a pay-per-view. Not a chance.
No.
Froch Groves 2, you'll allow it, but the card was shit, really, weren't it? I'd fucking... Joshua were fighting some fucking bum who they pulled out of a boozer.
No, stop being horrible. Matt Legg said that Joshua hit so hard that he...
Yeah, this is Matt Legg.
Matt Legg says Joshua hits harder than James Toney.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the fuck Matt Legg is.
Right, Matt Legg got stopped by Tony in Prize Fighter. If you're getting stopped by Tony at heavyweight, you shouldn't have ever been given a license.
He said Joshua hits harder than James Toney.
Yeah.
Who started as a middleweight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he is basically a fat heavyweight in his 40s.
Yeah, and Sky used this in an article to make out like Joshua was some unstoppable force.
Yes. What else? What other pay-per-views do we have? Value Cleverly.
Yeah, and then May 31st.
That's another one that Cal's just been on about. He signed Gavin. Gavin looked shit, so he chucked him in with Brooke to try and get some power off of it.
And he tells us that fight wouldn't be getting made until 2016.
Yeah,
Summer 2016.
Gavin was supposed to fight Van Heerden, money, and that fell through. And Van Heerden.
Oh, it didn't fall through. Yeah, he fucking would have. Gavin would.
No, it didn't fall through. That was the main event for Birmingham.
Yeah, and Gavin pulled out to fucking.
They stick Joshua on against fucking Love, take out the main event, and everyone's fucking buzzing. Oh, we got to see Joshua in Birmingham.
Because that's where that pissed up guy was starting on Kevin Johnson in the crowd.
Yeah, because it took Kevin Johnson to walk into the ring after it. It's like, what Hearn good at, he's like a jigsaw puzzle man. Like he's always like 10 fucking shows ahead, and he's always thinking, well, if this one loses here in their 1 to 10, in their fucking 10 to 1 shot, then we'll move him down here and we'll put him in this shot. Like, he's got it all mapped out. There's no it's not let's make a good fight. It's this makes most sense for me to make money. It's not let's make fucking good fights for the fans. It's all about himself and the fighters getting a shot at the fucking world title.
There's not been one good pay-per-view card that he's done.
No, and every one of them, he's gone on before about how great it is and what a card it is and how competitive it is. And I don't think there's one. I mean, all right, you could say the one May 31st one last year, the Gradovic and Richie fights. All right, you could say them two fights, but the main event, Brooke versus Gavin,
disgrace.
Absolutely.
Everybody fucked off because the two Northern fighters fighting in London. Fucking great idea. Great idea.
See, my argument is, see if a fight's going to be pay-per-view, it needs to have a fucking proper headliner. Like, pay-per-view should only be made if Kell Brook is trying to get Danny Garcia over here. You need to pay. Like, I can't remember what podcast it is. Maybe it was Asylum 2 weeks ago. They might need to pay them like $2 million or something like that. Danny Garcia's getting about $1.5 million. He's not coming over here for anything less than $3-4 million, right?
I think Brian. I think he said to Phelps the other day something about he spoke
trying to get
him
Bruno.
about $5 million. I don't know if that was dollars or pounds.
Oh, the
And
dollars.
he was going on with all the money's over here, and we can bring them over and all that. But he did mention $5 million.
Well, apparently they said they're going to try and get Bruno, fucking hell, or Garcia.
If all the money's over here, why the fuck couldn't he get De Gea or Medina on that card?
I think that sort of makes... Well, I don't think De Gea's fucked about being on a Hearn card, because he's going to get paid more of an aim, isn't he? And it's all this bullshit about Amen trying to build that fight.
If all the money's over here, why is Kell Brook one of the worst resumes in boxing?
Fuck knows.
But if the pay-per-view is going to be here, it should be to get like a fucking top quality name for America over here. It shouldn't be like see that card last year, like Brooke Gavin? That was a fucking belter of a card. That was a really good card. But my argument with that was you fucking only loaded that card to put it on pay-per-view. It's not because the card, the fight needed pay-per-view. It's because you loaded it so it had to go on pay-per-view. You also turned around and says that Kevin Mitchell v Linares couldn't happen unless it was pay-per-view, even though it was like a posh bid that Hearn won. And Linares doesn't get paid a lot, so we know you're fucking lying with that, right? So it's one way or another. It's either he fucking shafts the fans by putting Joshua on pay-per-view against fucking bums, or then he fucking top heavy loads the card, right? This is a ending argument. He gives you shite all year round. See the Frankie Gavin, Kell Brook, that should have been in Sheffield headlining it. Selby, fucking Gradovic, Kevin Mitchell, and Linares. That could have headlined a London show.
Yeah.
Kevin Mitchell shifts that could have had. It didn't need to be pay-per-view, but it was. I will never ever fucking excuse. He's the one that turned around and says he wasn't bringing pay-per-views back until 2015 and brought it back about 2 years earlier.
Well, I guarantee you one thing. In maybe a year's time, when Joshua fucks him off, which he will do, this pay-per-view model is just going to absolutely crumble because, like, people are going to accept that we can just have Joshua versus nobody and the rest of the card nothing, and people will pay it because it's Joshua and he's like going to be a phenomenon. As soon as he's gone, he's going to have no one. Brooks getting more and more irrelevant every fucking fight. Like,
I think I'll see that cunt in it.
Selby's not very he's slick and he's good to watch if you like boxers, but he's not entertaining because he don't fucking bang anyone out.
I think Selby's overrated. He's consistently failing to fucking deliver to this level that everyone keeps banging on about he's got. So I'm selling on that one.
I think that when Brook eventually comes out and admits that he's gay, the hunger and the anger is going to get away from him, and he's not going to be the same fighter. Right now, he's bottling up that oppression, you homosexuals, and he's getting in and fucking whiting cunts out. But see, as soon as he comes out and says, I love a bit of dick, don't fucking hate me, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be after like Eubank Watson, where Eubank was never the same, he couldn't pull the trigger. It's like, well, he'll be pulling a lot of things.
Orlando Cruz would have beat Salido if he wouldn't have come out.
Oh, I see if he didn't wear the rainbow panties, man, he would have fucking won that fight. Fuck you, Salido, you wee cheating bastard. Right, I'm fucking done this to death, so fuck Eddie Hearn, fuck the cop, fuck pay-per-view, fuck press pass, fuck the police, fuck Paul Smith, you fat bastard.
Lol. Yeah, fuck Jamie Cox because he's got 6 months. and fuck that stupid maggot who tweeted me saying that Jamie Cox was her son's role model.
It was what?
Right? Remember when it come out that it got done, and I tweeted something, so she fucking popped up, giving me shit, saying you don't know who he is. He's my son's role model. And then I said something, and she's like, I don't know him personally.
You know what that was? You know who that was? That was that fucking fat bird that's fucking right into Ched Evans. She had a cake with Jamie Cox's face on it.
Yeah. But yeah, he's got 6 months for beating a woman.
Brian, do you want to talk about what happens now? Like what happens next with Joshua?
Well,
or
fucking
something else.
Was it?
Why don't you go for it, Rocco? What would you say? Because obviously Fury's going to be quite a way down the line. So
well, I've watched
out like the next 2 or 3 fights for him. What you'd like to see, and then what we're going to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I still, as much as I'm bored with it, I do watch and read all the interviews. I was watching some Saturday night while I was eating me Kentucky.
Did you take your own ketchup, like?
Well, no, this is takeaway, but when we go in there, we take our own ketchup, yeah.
Did you shag after it? Were you shagging in between eating a bit of chicken?
No.
Yeah, he's got a chicken glove on one end and his finger glove on the other.
I'll take it and I go and eat it.
Put the sheet out.
Have you ever fucking asked her if you could do it with a drumstick?
So I watched quite a few of the interviews. I watched the press conference, like the post-fight press conference. So I had to suffer, like, and there's all the press asking him what's next, who's next, what's next, and he was saying about possibly going on July the 9th, the same date as Fury. And when I see there was an article written last week after July the 9th was announced, saying that like they might go with that date as well. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at Wembley, and it's not. You know. But Joshua is now probably he's pay-per-view fight. I think all these fights now are going to be pay-per-view, whether you like it or not. In this fight, ain't going to be against the Fury. It ain't going to be against the Hay. It ain't going to be against the Wilder or Povetkin. You know, basically, they've openly said there's going to be 2 voluntaries, so he can still learn on the job. They're going to be, you know, some, you know, these average, you know, blokes that he would have fought anyway if he wasn't the world champion.
Okay, but you know all that bullshit when people say they need fights to learn? If he fought Pulev, right, and Pulev's fucking semi-acceptable, he's still going to learn from fighting that cunt. He's not going to learn from fighting fucking Malik Scott, who will fall over if you fucking wave a fucking brown envelope at him, or if the wind blows too hard. Fucking weirdo.
But it's not, you know, I mean, it's not going to happen. And I've seen him say, oh, we could go on the 25th of June, 2nd of June. We won't go afterwards because we don't want to, like, be left in the shadow of Fury. Like, if he wins again, we want to go before to, like, nick all the limelight. But, and then he sort of, like, since said, July the 9th is only at Wembley. You know, July the 9th at Wembley with him against Malik Scott, and then he said Groves Murray would be on the undercard. But I don't think that's... I mean, to sell out Wembley, you've got to be looking at, you know, mega fights, not...
Yeah, right. You could get Joshua in against fucking Larry O, and he'd probably sell the fucking Wembley out.
Yeah, well,
that's right. He's with the IBF, and Alabama Rose failed a drug test, so that means he's a fucking candidate for getting fucking slipped into the top 15. So that might be the fight.
I've got, realistically, I think his next fight will probably be Scott or Duhaupas. Hopefully it's Duhaupas, because at least he's actually fucking... He'd come to fight.
He'd need to be paid good money, though, because like he's now going to be the mandatory for Povetkin Wilder.
Yeah, I think they'll probably give him about $750 to $1 million, like what he'd probably get to fight Povetkin or Wilder. And then his next fight...
They're not going to give him $1 million. They're not giving him $1 million.
They'll have Dillian White on the undercard, because he'll be back by July. I listened to him earlier, against just anyone, just as a comeback fight, and then it'll be him next in, say, December time, Dillian White in December rematch, which he's probably better than Duhaupas and fucking Charles Martin, so it's a step up again, and then it'll be Fury next summer.
Fucking drummer boy Molina's back in with a shot because he beat Adamek, so they can. Sorry, I'll rephrase that because it made me sound like I thought it was a good win. Molina's just got a win, so Hearn can spin that one as a valid opponent. Yeah, and then they'll do the old, oh, well, Wilder only beat him in 10 rounds or whatever it was.
These next 2 fights they've said are going to be like easy voluntary reduction. Like you say, maybe Scott.
Profile, shall we? Right. I'm going to show you saying fucking shit.
Is this Kogan pissed on Periscope?
Who is it?
Cougar, man, I think he's blow. Who's it? He's talking about Shaft or something?
Yeah,
Shannon Briggs.
For what it's worth, this is what I think will happen. Now, he'll fight 2 voluntary things, one in July, one in September, and then all these things saying and articles saying it could happen this year. It won't happen this year, the Fury fight. It won't happen this year because he'll be if Fury's still a world champion, then they'll build that is a big fight, it's a mega fight. That will be that will be his Wembley.
See, the only thing with that though is so fucking spin it out, you fat dick. It could be Parker that's going to be his mandatory, right? I'm not saying he beats the cam, right? So I think here might be in a predicament here. You know how where Wilder was at a crux here, where he might have been forced into fighting like Vlad or fucking Fury because his mandatory was Povetkin, and then ended up going with Povetkin anyway because like fucking Martin was offered crazy money. I think this might be the same situation here. He knows that his. And I asked today with a couple of people, because I've not really watched Parker, and they're like, this guy is fucking good. He is good.
Well,
he's maybe not getting the opponents, but he's good.
He was shit in his last fight.
Well, I don't know.
You don't rate many
go watch
people,
it.
Paul, do you? So.
Right, we'll go. Right, he's fucking fought nobody to be getting all this hype. I don't understand it. It's like this is fucking. It's AJ but dialed down. He's fought absolutely no cunt, and people, oh, he's gonna do this. He's fucking. He's fought.
Tank.
He's fought absolute idiots, right? He's fought worse than Joshua. For fuck's sake.
To be fair,
he fought an absolute bum in his last fight, and he was getting fucking tagged. He's an absolute fucking idiot. He's fought fucking Calimian, for fuck's sake. He's about 56.
Paul, be serious though.
Fucking mental.
If you take the fact that Joshua's on pay-per-view every fight away from it, in 16 fights, he's actually got a good resume, I'd say, for 16 fights in.
Joshua.
Yeah. Take hype and everything away.
Yeah, this is
16 fights in heavyweight. There's none with as good a resume as him already, I'd say. 16 fights.
No, but the way that they're spinning it, it's the last 3 people he fought were undefeated. If you look at it, fucking Cornish is a sack of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck knows what White is like. We don't really know what he's going to do. Martin's obviously shit.
Yeah, well, I'd say his best 2 wins is fucking Kevin Johnson and Dillian White. To be honest.
Kevin Johnson?
I'd pick Johnson to be fucking Charles Martin as well.
Right, man, we're fucking barred this fucking horse to death, right? Josh is going to fight a fucking bum in the summer. We all know that. He's not going to fight MD decent, and he'll probably go back to the fucking ranch acting like Steven again with fucking big boss man.
But the thing is, it's like there's not many who. There's option. Is it Pulev signed to fight Chisora, or are they still fucking about with that shit?
No, that's signed, isn't it?
Because would you put it past Hearn, right? Try to fucking. We don't know what's going to happen with Lucas Brown, but say Brown gets fucking cleared somehow, right? Would you put it past Hearn making a run to try and make that and then bullshitting it off as another unification?
They don't recognise it, do they?
No, they don't, but it doesn't mean that Fury's not going to get stripped or some bullshit, does it?
Right, fuck it. We've done this for a fucking hour. Joshua's a prick. Let's move on.
Fuck the cult.
Friday night, Cuenca was fighting fucking Troy and Oscar. The only reason I'm bringing this up because he was bitching about the first fight that it shouldn't have been stopped, but he fucking quit. It doesn't matter how he puts it. He was the one that quit, and he could go to a rematch. And did anybody see this fight?
No.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've seen the fight. He was just that Cuenca fella was just fucking tiny and average, and he was just
small lightweight, right?
It was a matter of time, weren't it? It was just one of them fights where you were just thinking, when's he going to get stopped?
But he had like 40 odd fights, late 40 odd fights, and that was the only time he got to fight for a title. That should say everything.
Wait, no, he won the title. He beat Zhang.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. How many fights has he had?
Oh, 48.
Like 40 odd. If you fought in for a title and you had that many fights, that's the first time.
Yeah, he'd had one knockout or something daft, but then he dropped the fucking Chinaman in the second round.
Marvin Hagler was in his fucking 50s fights before he got a world title. Or was it 40s? 40s or 50s? Anyway, all I've done was brought it up there because that's just another fucking person to tick off the Mayweather curse list. Boom! And I'm telling you, see when fucking wee Chocolatito goes back up against Estrada, it's happening to him as well because Estrada is taking that soul, taking it! And all you fucking midget lovers, team abuse always want. Fuck the lotties. Right, let's go to fucking Vegas. Obviously, I watched this card because it's proper boxing. There was fuck all hype about this. And I was one of the few people that actually quite liked this fight, basically because it was 1 versus 2. I mean, we've already seen it at 4. And people kind of fucking... people gave Pacquiao the 2 fights. I didn't. I had the first fight a draw. I know I got a bit of shit for it, but I watched it, and I purposely watched it ignoring the commentators
Yeah.
because the commentators were fucking abysmal in that first fight. I scored at a draw. I thought Tim Bradley really did make Pacquiao miss a lot, and he was countering well. He was moving well, and I seen it a lot closer than fucking most other people.
There's a video on YouTube of that, and they actually slow the rounds down. Where
I don't really like that because
cheerleading.
that video is the same sort of video that people were doing for like Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah, that's proper flow-mo conspiracy we're getting into now.
No, but like the Pacquiao's done that, so it made out as if Manny actually beat Floyd. But
yeah, well, they're just as bad, aren't they?
In my opinion, this fight wasn't great because it was the least competitive out of the three of them. I seen like the scorecards. Like I got up at 5:30 today. I pissed right, and I couldn't get back to sleep, and I couldn't be asked getting up and finding a stream to watch it. So I basically just was on my Twitter reading everybody's tweets, and they were making out as if it was a really good fight and like it was competitive. And when the scorecards come in like 1-1-6, 1-1-0, it just made it that as if it was an 8-4 card, right? But I watched it and I gave Bradley fucking 2 rounds, and I was squeezing the 2 rounds out. It wasn't good at all. Like,
what range did you give him? Because I gave him the first one.
Nah, I gave him maybe no. I think I gave Pacquiao the first 2, and I gave Bradley the third. I'll tell you right now, but I didn't see any slippage. I've always defended like Pacquiao. I found. Hold on, I'll get up. I gave him the 3rd and the 9th. I was on the asylum. Well, I phoned up just before the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and I phoned up when I was in the MGM because I was there, people, and I said I was like this myth that Pacquiao is fucking done. It's not right. I was like because if you looked at Algeria's not amazing, Rios is not amazing, but Bradley was a good fucking win, and I still seen the same signs. Therefore, he's not as aggressive as he used to be. He doesn't swing as much punches. He doesn't take as many risks. But that's to be expected because he get fucking knocked the fuck out. But I didn't see it as if like it was this short fighter. And at the weekend, I thought he looked well. He kind of moved a lot better. His jab. Sometimes I don't kind of pay attention to what people are doing, but see when I actually sit and fucking try watching on, his fucking jab is pretty good. And well, one time I was watching it. It was like actually Mayweather, and he must have went into like a Mayweather gym and sat and watched him doing it. But what it was is like fucking. I don't see Pacquiao as like one of these like kind of fighters that can fight off his back foot. But what he done, he was like backing off, and Bradley swung a punch him, and he moved backwards and hit me a fucking counter. It was a belter, and it just gave me a chubby because it reminded me about my boy Floyd. But I didn't think the fight was great. It wasn't competitive at all. Manny actually fucking schooled him, and for me, he's still the best welterweight. The best active welterweight, and he beats any fucker there. I don't want him to retire because I'm obviously a flow motor and I want that fucking rematch. I'm sick of people turning around and saying that he was injured for that fight last year.
Why do you want it? Because it'd just be a repeat of the first. Like, and the first one was a great fight, and the second one would be worse.
Because I just want to see greatness fight greatness. I don't give a fuck. Why do I want to watch?
Yeah, but why watch greatness fight greatness? He's going to beat like this. It's not interesting, is it?
I'll tell you.
Yeah, but what's more interesting at the weight? There's nothing as interesting. Floyd will beat the rest of them at the weight easier than he'll beat Manny, so it's the best fight to be made there.
No, fuck that. Maidana give him more troubles than Pacquiao.
No, but that's because Floyd fucking didn't give a fuck about Maidana. He likes to keep it a little bit interesting. Floyd was a lot better against Manny than he was against Maidana.
I don't want this turning into fucking a Floyd thing here. I'm really want to speak about Manny because like.
But now Floyd's gone. Manny's one of your favourite fighters, isn't he?
I've turned into a fucking backtard, man, because like, you know what it's like. You turn into a bit of fucking a football player when it comes to boxing as well, a bit of tribalism, and you like for some reason you get into like a fucking Mongol mode where you kind of like his rival. It's the same way I hated Messi for years because I like fucking Ronaldo, and then I kind of grew pubes this year and kind of matured a bit and realised that I'm a mong. But Manny's been one of the most entertaining fighters in the last 10-15 years. He's always in a fucking good fight, even if it's one-sided. It's always good.
Yeah, that's because he's got frailties as well. If you hit him, he gets it, and he used to hit.
But he got hot. He got
hit bad as well.
Bradley hurt him bad. Fucking it was 6th round.
Yeah.
But he could have stopped Bradley. No, I think Bradley was in a fucking bad way in the 12th round as well. So
It just
he's
comes back to that thing, and they're doing it like Pacquiao has lost that killer instinct. Like since he's found God and that stopped fucking hookers, he's not the same man.
You know what I want? I want like Manny to get spiked one night and just gaff the rails, and then he's like, I remember how good this was. I'm getting down there to muff a fucking hooker.
Give him
And
a
that
monkey brain.
Oh fuck! I don't know if he could handle a fucking monkey brain.
Don't you think though it's more just the weight? Eventually, your power's going to stop.
Well, that's it.
What? Crack on, man.
Like you, obviously with Golovkin at the minute, he'll wipe out any middleweight. But if he moved up through to light heavyweight, he wouldn't be a puncher anymore at light heavyweight. He'd be a good puncher, but he wouldn't be like a fucking Kovalev type puncher at light heavy. It's the same kind of thing with Manny. He's gone up through so many weights. Eventually, the weight can't keep with, especially if you're not on drugs anymore. You can't fuck it. Or never been on him. I don't know either way.
The only fight that interests me if he hangs around. I've heard people saying Canelo, and like, fuck that. Canelo would kill him if he hits him there. He can make 140 piece of piss. Just fight Crawford. If you're going to stay, just fight Crawford. That's the most interesting fight there is. Move down to 140. If you beat Crawford, then he's already going to go down as an all-time great, but that's a fucking massive statement. If you can still go down and beat the next big thing, then why fight Floyd again? What's the fucking point? What is the point? You just want to see it because you want to go out there and try and get a ticket this time.
I couldn't be fucked to see it anymore.
Yeah, fuck that. I wouldn't pay for
and
it.
I'd be happy to see Floyd beat him up every day of the week, but I can't really be asked. I just don't see the point in it.
No, neither do I. It's pointless.
It's going to be no different than the first one. It's going to be no different, and there's just going to be another fucking shit excuse from them little rats.
I wouldn't mind him seeing Garcia because that'd be a good fight as well, and it'd be something you ain't seen before. He'd beat Garcia, and that'd be nice to see as well. But like fighting Floyd again, what's the point? If Floyd's going to fight anyone, probably again, yeah. There's no one. I don't want to see Floyd fight anyone. There's no one there that's going to give him a competitive fight.
They keep linking him with Garcia, don't they, Floyd?
Yeah, but what's the fuck? That'd be easy night's work for him. There's no point of him coming back. Just stay fucking retired. You've done everything you need to do. If you come out, then you'll just get fucking slated because I don't want him to fight Golovkin. But everyone is saying, "Oh, fight Golovkin. Go to 150 catch weight." What's the fucking point of that? Golovkin would kill him. There's no need. Just stay fucking retired, please. Let the sport move on. Same with Pacquiao. Just fight Crawford or something. Fight a proper challenge. Don't fight Floyd. Or if you ain't, just fucking stay retired. Let the sport move on. It's embarrassing. People keep calling for him to come back. We get stuck in the same fucking shit again.
Who's cooking blocked out of all yous?
None of us. He follows Rocco, doesn't he?
I can't fucking.
Just send him a DM.
No, fuck, I'm posting it on Twitter. So we can.
I'll just fucking boot him. Yeah.
Right. Well, who do you want Manny to fight? Like, I mean, people keep
like I said, Crawford, man.
No, this is that. Crawford's best win is fucking Ricky Burns or Figueroa. No, Figueroa. Gamboa. Tell me, I know people turn around and say, "Oh, the eye test, he looks great," but the fact of the matter is, he's fucking not fought any cunt. What is this like?
Alright, I'd say for Chuck Mannion, well, getting to fight Brook.
He's not fighting Brook.
He's not gonna. He's not.
Yeah.
But why not? Because he's gonna make a load of money if they take it to Macau. Brook can't turn that down.
Well, imagine us going to fucking Macau. Fuck.
We'll get press passes
next big pod on tour. There's no one for him to fucking fight really, other than Crawford. There's no one. He's not fighting any Heyman guys, is he? Let's get that right.
No, but this is why it's Brook in it, or it's fucking retcon, won't he? Let's be fucking right. Off a Saturday, if he fought Con like that, it'd wreck him.
I know the likes of Andy and like Tommy, but like I want the Canelo fight. Canelo's fucking massive. Canelo's too big.
Pacquiao made 147 after having fucking lunch or having like a proper breakfast on the weigh-in day.
I said at the weekend, I was like, see if Manny really wanted to, he could make lightweight if he wanted to. He was not cut to fuck or nothing. He could make 140 without a fucking problem. And I can tell you right now, see if he really wanted to, he could get down to 135. He is no big. Which just, like, at the weekend, I fucking morphed into a massive packed tab that made me fucking quite sick. But he is really punching above his weight. And I know I've always been one of the biggest critics of him saying that he's full of steroids. But see, See if steroids is going to make you that good, then fuck it. Just get fucking wired right in about it. Just get fucking right in about it and we'll all just fucking go to town. See if I knew that I could fucking take steroids and turn out like Manny, I'd be fucking sniffing everything possible, jagging my arse. I'd even get Big Josh to fucking stick up my arse if I could be able to fight like Manny. That's what we're all about. And just one minute. On you go.
I watched it because I'm a big Pacquiao fan, and I watched it. I've got to be honest, there was no buzz leading up to this fight at all. Do you know what I mean? No
You've
buzz
seen it and done it twice, innit?
Yeah, because it'd been twice, and there was just no buzz to it at all. And I watched it, and I was hoping that he'd win. Didn't know what he'd have left, and I've got to be honest, I was like, because I wanted him to win, I was watching the first couple of rounds. I thought, he looks like he's got old overnight. I thought, Bradley's got them 2 rounds. Then I was, and Bradley just seemed like fresher, and I don't know, perhaps I was watching it through, thingy blue eyes where you don't want your guy to like looking at the sort of like negatives. But and obviously once he knocked him down, then the sort of like the unofficial scorecards were showing that he was like well in front. I felt a little bit better, but yeah, I mean he's still. Like you say, he's lost. Winning after the second knockdown, the Pacquiao of old would have steamed into him, but you could see he sort of like backed off. Do you know what I mean? And allowed Bradley to regain his sort of senses.
Yeah.
So, but even so, he's just. I mean, he's fought Tim Bradley, who we'd all regard as like, a real top sort of, fighter. He's fought him 3 times, and arguably. He's won all 3, arguably. He's won 2 of them, and by most people's reckoning, robbed in the other one. He's fought Morales, Barrera, and Marquez a total of 9 times. Do you know what I mean? It's
I just think if Marquez's knee wasn't fucked, I'd say them 2 might as well just fucking have one more and then both be done with it. But his knee's as bad as Roy Jones, as bad as sound of things, so.
Yeah, it's all like.
I just get
it. Why? What's the point? There's no one for him to fight, really.
The thing is, if he could fight an Eubank, you never know though, because with what's happening with him, and they could possibly do it, but it'd be like fight maybe Garcia, but then it's like, well, what is the point? Because Garcia is not exactly fucking brilliant, is he? He's a fucking lucky little bastard, and.
I'd like fucking, even if it's, I can't handle 140 now, but even at a catch weight, I'd fucking love Pacquiao v Broner. I'd fucking love it.
That's been and gone on it.
Pacquiao would fucking ruin him.
Ruin him.
Pacquiao would knock him out. I know Broner's got a fucking good chin, but in fact, what am I talking about? He probably wouldn't knock him out. But he might.
I think he would.
Yeah, I think he'd make Broner quit.
Aye. But I don't like. I was the only fucking person probably on fucking planet Earth that did not want either of these fuckers to quit, retire. Not one pair. I just says no. Why do I want it? And I kept saying it, and all I got back was boxing's always been like this. Boxing's always been like this. People leave and they come. And I was like, you fucking watch. See when this generation of fighters starts retiring, we're going to get into a fucking seat dip. I was at because there is
fuck that. Fuck that. People would have said that when all the great heavyweights retired, like Frazier, Ali, and that, and then.
But that's a total different.
Then you've got Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, Duran. You'll have other cunts as well.
No, who? Explain to me who. There is nobody. The landscape's changed. Remember, fucking Floyd and all that came up at the same time as like Oscar De La Hoya and all that. They all came up, and now they're all leaving at the same time. The boxing's totally changed. No, hardly anybody really gives a fuck about boxing now. It's not the fucking same. There is no superstars like fucking Manny, Floyd, Cotto. Canelo's maybe the last one. I know fucking Big Femi, but fuck Femi. There's going to be a bit of a lull here, and it's going to plateau where.
The main thing is there's no Yanks either, is there?
Well, this is it. We need this is why I'm fucking praying that Spence turns out to be the real deal, because we need somebody. I've already fucking.
If Wilder fucking chins Povetkin, they'll fucking go mental about it.
I just think that I will see the thing with the heavyweights, so that it's quite top heavy, and there's only going to be 1 or 2 fights there. But whether's with welterweight, see if Spence is the real deal, he can fucking get through that welterweight and go up to light middleweight. Where at some point, I think light middleweight will end up being a bit of a stacked division, because you'll hear Lubin like coming up, you'll hear like Andre will go away, you'll hear Liam Smith will be fucking tearing everybody a new arsehole. So. I'm just kind of pinning more. I would fucking love it, nothing more than for like about a month's time. The rumours start coming about that fucking Floyd Pacquiao are going to take the September date and come back for like one big hurrah. I would fucking love it, I tell you, Kevin Keegle style.
Oh, I don't understand that.
It would still be probably the second biggest fight ever. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And if pay-per-views keep boxing going, is that not what we want? Do we not want the biggest fight ever to fucking have a rematch?
No, because the first one was shit.
But, yeah.
That you can't make a case.
Obviously, you've got to be careful, because you're throwing it in that thing where, well, I'd rather see fucking Pacquiao fight Lee Perry because we know it's going to be a knockout.
No, I don't want that either. I just want to see like Pacquiao in a competitive fight. Pacquiao versus
I think he should go, but the problem is because them two have dominated it for so long. I mean, it's fucking this bullshit where there's just a lull waiting for the next guy to come through.
Yeah, but then where does it stop? If they come back now and have this fight again, a year's time, we want Pacquiao back, we want Floyd back.
Look at the state of cunts now. There's fucking idiots like Briggs steaming about. God knows how old. Roy Jones just won't fucking pack it in. No Will James Tony. The cunts just don't let go anymore. They still delude themselves into thinking they've got.
Before we just finish up with the Manny thing, I want him to fight on. I hope he kind of comes back and fights somebody else. If it's Crawford, then fucking so be it. But if you're still as good as what Manny Pacquiao is and Floyd Mayweather, there is no fucking reason. Joe Calzaghe walked away because he was beginning to deteriorate. We know Floyd's fucking walked away because his hands are shagged. He's got serious injuries for what I was told, like the way he does his shoulder roll and the amount of fucking punches that he takes to his arm, shoulder. No, he had to just fucking walk away, right? But these two guys are still at the top of their game. I would pick they two to beat any fucker in that division, right? So why not? Why not have the two best? People are desperate to see Floyd lose, so why don't we come back to eventually lose so you can all fucking celebrate your fucking fannies? But Manny looked well. Bradley looked shot to shit. His bird's ugly as fuck. You think me? I don't understand how multi-millionaires end up with fucking minging birds. Is that not the whole point of having money to pull a tidy? I mean, let's get this fucking right. There's somebody on this call that is blessed with a beautiful fucking sibling, right? See, if I was fucking loaded, that's the sort of shit I'd be going with. Not fucking some fucking boiler. It doesn't matter whether you've got a weight in them or not. See, if you're fucking loaded and you've got an ugly bird, you're doing something fucking wrong. Right?
Brendan Rodgers, that's what he did. Got the job at Liverpool, fucked the missus off, and got rid of the receptionist or some shit.
Go to Liverpool, Job, get a new set of teeth and got a young tidy blonde. So we fucking rock and roll. But right, on the undercard, that most of us didn't see. Did any of you see the proper undercard that was on Top Rank?
I've seen a couple of fights off it, but
no, he means like the Kavalauskas fight.
Aye, I'm looking for fucking. I'll need to go and search for him and maybe talk about them in an off pod. But
I've seen
Valdez.
Aye, but see, what's his name?
Vosdik.
Was that when he knocked out Najib Mohammadi?
Yeah.
That was sick.
He's gonna be some fucking cunt in that division.
I mean, that division's going to be fucking stacked to fuck with Eastern Europeans. I might end up fucking changing my birthplace to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to fucking Russia somewhere.
I thought you were from Madeira.
No, my mum and dad are from Madeira. I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So basically, I've got a bit of fucking Cristiano and Floyd in me. I'm just a complete package. Bull. Right.
I'm from Simferopol in Ukraine.
I'm from General Santos City, mate.
Who the fuck's that for?
Philippines.
Oh, fuck that, bum.
Lads, can I just read you something?
Aye.
It's from the Docker Seath.
Oh, fuck's sake.
To Paul, so he's sucking off Paul because nobody wants him on any of their fucking podcasts. He says, on a serious, not going to listen to these podcasts again the way they treated you. I don't know you, but I've realised how twisted and jealous they are.
Fuck off, Doc, you weird little cunt.
He's the biggest maggot on fucking Twitter. Look at it, as I've just seen, he's just tweeted, next big pod have blocked me because I bought the pay-per-view and
I blocked
passing on it.
I blocked him because he kept asking us if he could come on and it was Deal Madden, so I blocked him so he couldn't DM us anymore.
Oh
That's
my
why
god. Is it press pass and fucking Doc just having a...
I told you earlier on, that fucking Nazi, yeah, a poor fucking troll. You need... There's a fucking technique to this game, and you're shite at it. You think that the more you try to be a fucking smart arse, the quicker I'm going to actually bring you on here. That's not the way it works. I'm an absolute wanker. I will make it my fucking life's work to make sure you never get back on here. So what to do is, every day for this pod, I don't give a fuck, don't tweet me. Every day for this pod, you better fucking tweet and apologise, and you will never get your ugly fucking horrible fucking stupid face back on here.
I think we've never shown you his dick.
Look into my fucking eyes. Look, there's my eyes right there. Look into my eyes, I see if you're a big fucking homo. Go and apologise to every fucking single one of them, you big stupid fucking gobshite. You haven't got a foreskin, so apologise.
I think we should just start tweeting out the banned list every week as well. There's only 3 people on it.
Man, my fucking block list is ridiculous now, but fucking half of them's for that wee homo barracks. But right, I'll jump onto the Abraham fight after that because that was shit. But Valdez Gradovic, man, oh fucking that Valdez is giving me a fucking chubby, man. For some reason I thought that Valdez was a bit of a brawler, right? But I was getting him mixed up with fucking Jojo Diaz, I think. Right, this guy can box the fuck. And you know what I noticed? Like I was watching it in a right fucking shitty stream, wasn't I? Like every fucking punch, and it didn't seem he wasn't putting like full effort into his punches. It looked as if he was hurting Gradovic with every single fucking punch, and I think it was it the left hook, man. My head's fucking rude. I think it was the left hook. He was just able to connect it at fucking will, and his jab. Oh fucking. Valdez is a real deal. He's a fucking real deal.
That knockdown in the fourth was nice.
Between 122 and 130 in the next coming like 3, 4, 5 years, there's going to be some great fights down there.
Nah, I know that the Americans are quite high on that Jojo Diaz and all, but for me, Jojo Diaz, he's not got as much power and he gets hurt too much, and I'm not into that. Like, he reminded me a wee bit of Mares, and I quite like Mares, but Mares seemed to be a bit more refined in how he could box. But Jojo Diaz, it just seems as if he's going to be like the wee kind of Mexican brawlers, and I know everybody's into that, but I think like Valdez is a lot more polished. He's a far better boxer, and somebody told me yesterday he fucking gave it to with John Joe Niven in the Olympics. Yeah. I watched all the boxing in the Olympics, and I can barely remember fuck all other than. I can't even remember watching Lomachenko in the Olympics. That tells you how badly I fucked up my life with the ecstasy tablets. Because all I can remember is basically Joshua Robin cunts. I can't even remember watching Paddy Barnes or fucking Drew Shimmy or nothing. My head was fucking ruined, man. Ruined. Don't take drugs, kids. They're bad for you. But I know you're fucking quite high on this guy. He has dynamite. Look.
He's just going to get ducked by everyone, isn't he?
Well, he's going to get a belt shortly when fucking King Kong goes up there to fucking take fucking Ricky Burns' sloppy fucking seconds.
Yeah, I'm glad that'll happen because I was fucking starting to worry that Hearn were going to do a switch again and fucking nick it for Warrington.
The WBO's Warrants anyway, innit?
Yeah, but
they wouldn't cross Warren.
Yeah, but who's Warren? Who's Warren got a featherweight?
They wouldn't cross Aram even.
Who's Warren?
No, they would. I mean Aram, mate.
Oh yeah, no, but
yeah.
I mean, like, if he wasn't at featherweight, like, who's he got? They can't. Well, I don't think you should count if you hold a WBO belt as a champion. No, just because of what they're starting to do. But that's just me. The Liam Smith finger sent me over the edge.
Well, IBS is bad then.
I'm worried.
Yeah,
about
they're close.
People like Lee Selby against Valdez. Like, because against the small targets, Selby doesn't seem to be that good, and the guy's kind of, I don't know, he doesn't look very big for the weight at all, but his movement's so good.
I don't think it's that he doesn't look big for the weight. I just think that Selby's too big for that weight. Him and Waters are freakishly. See, when I met Selby like in Vegas, man, I was like, you are fucking big. He's taller than me. I know I'm no fucking tall, but you'd expect like featherweights to be wee midgets. This fucker, he's big. I do not know how he makes that weight. He's big, and you see him on the scales the day before the fight. He's fucking drawn to shit. So he's killing himself. He tell me he makes the weight fine, and I'm like, aye, you are fucking lying to me right to my face, Selby, and I don't even think you realise who you're talking to.
They're obviously looking for the Frampton fight, though, aren't they? That's their.
That's what's going to happen.
Made some decent cash if Frampton wins, and then obviously can't be bothered with the Rigo fight because it makes.
That's a freak show, man. Selby against Frampton.
What size?
Look how fucking long he is, man. It's not even worth seeing. It isn't, is it? It's fucking stupid, that fight. It's not worth seeing. It's not a good fight. It's just. If they weren't both British, none of them give a fuck. Selby is fucking massive.
If he's going to move up to Duck Rigo, then he is going to fight big people, isn't he? Just
yeah, but I don't. Well, Selby's been fucking making noise about moving up and shit, hasn't he? So
maybe not then, but
that's fucking shite, isn't it?
He can't.
If he moves up, you've got to fight him. But I'm just saying, it's not like
back down. He's going to either move up and stay up or not move up. So if he moves up to Santa Cruz, that's the weight division he's in. So he's got a fucking fight.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he hasn't got it, but I'm just saying I don't see the clamour for it because it's not like a. Well, that's a fucking as much of a foregone conclusion as you can.
The Lee Selby fight's not happening. Cal's not going to dump his belts to go up and fight fucking Lee Selby. He's going to go. I don't know.
He's going to dump him to Santa Cruz.
Aye.
But then he's at that weight, is my point. He can't.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I'm not saying that the fight shouldn't happen. I'm just saying I don't see why there's all the clamour for it when it's not really a competitive fight, is it?
They're both with Al Heyman as well, aren't they?
Hmm.
So.
Well, how long's fucking he gonna have control of people for, though?
Coogan, how's it going, mate? You alright?
No, it's not alright!
Coogie!
Spent too long with her earlier on, did you?
Where's my fucking mate Brian fucking King? Where is he?
you been on the sauce tonight, mate?
Oh, I'm fucking right here, Coogs.
I've had a fucking drink, but who fucking... Let's fucking have it. Do you know what?
100 million views.
I'm just looking for my charger for the fucking thing. I can't fucking...
Can I say, like, I felt like you done yourself proud earlier on when you were sticking up for Fury when Hearn was giving you...
Nah, too right.
Yeah,
listen,
fuck him, he's a cunt.
Listen, listen, I like Hearn, but Hearn is pro Joshua. Don't look at anything else apart from Joshua. I'm just saying, how can you fucking knock fucking Fury, right? The geezer. So what he says on fucking social media? So what? We all
fuck
fucking...
the geese, innit? Fuck him.
So what? Who cares?
Fuck him.
I don't care what Fury says on social media. I actually don't take any notes of it. I just think Fury's just being Fury.
It's funny.
He doesn't take himself seriously. He's just saying it for a laugh and a rise anyway.
So what?
No, leave him to it. I don't give a fuck. Like being a boring idiot, man.
He's not a role model. Listen, like I said, I'll say this to Hearn or whatever. I don't care. He's not a role model because of some things that comes out from social media. Like he's tweeting Klitschko. He's tweeting Klitschko because he got a fucking fight on the 9th of July. So what? So what?
You need characters, Al. You
need
can't have everyone just doing the same thing, or it'd be shit.
You need fighters to be themselves. Yeah? Fury's just... Fury, how he is... That's just Fury. So, if you don't like him, don't fucking watch him. So what? Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
Like, who actually gives a fuck? He's fucking funny as fuck. He's entertaining. He just went and dethroned a fucking super champion. No, let's forget about that. Went and dethroned a super champion. Vladimir Klitschko has been beaten fucking 10 years. Oh, all right, Joshua. Yeah. Let's talk about Joshua then, right? Joshua, role model. Yes, Joshua is a role model. But, all right, why can't Fury be a role model? Do you know how much shit Fury does for charities and for fucking the community around Bolton? For whatever. Fury does a lot of shit that people don't...
Is he gone?
Oh.
Hearn's fucking booted him off the call here, isn't he?
That's it. War Coogan. He's back though. What's it fucking matter with that? All this bullshit if Fury's not saying what he should. Fuck him.
He's still there. Like, it's froze right enough.
I'm not going to boot him because then I don't think you can get back on. So
No, leave him when he can jump back on. Like, he's walking around in circles, man. Is he full of fucking powder?
He's just fucking sniffed a cafe creme.
Right, while we fucking wait for him to jump back on then, I watched that Abraham Ramirez fight earlier on. That was just basically a fucking sparring fight. That is the easiest fight I have seen all year, probably. But I was quite impressed with Ramirez. I've seen him before and they look pretty shit, but I know Abraham's fucking garbage and he's just a stationary target, but at the same time, he picked his punches well. And what I noticed with him was he was doing like Cam Smith does. You know how like Cam kind of fucking edges to the left and kind of curls his fucking left hand round, just hit to the body. Well, he was doing this with either hand. His jab was quite good and all. If this fight quite small, he kind of crouches down it. I don't understand why he does that, but I was quite impressed with fucking Ramirez. He's not as bad as I thought, and I could be a better player in that division. What do you think?
Well, it's about time he's fucking had a decent fight because he's like been on the Cal Brook list. You know, he's fucking 30, I don't know, and just fought idiots. It doesn't hurt for having another guy in division who could do something useful because obviously there's a bit of a gap there. But the problem is obviously he's not going to be able to fight DeGale or the Ripper, is he? So unless things change, like I said, we don't know. Things tend to be changing a bit by bit, but.
No,
like Abraham's shit. I think more than what, and a few people said it, which it just shows how fucking shite Murray and Smith are.
So is he a champion now, that Ramirez?
Yeah. Because like I said with Murray, he's gonna regret that night for fucking ever. Because he swallowed his own shite that night and bottled it.
Yeah, but to be fair, if he beat him, it would have only been the Ramirez fight, and then he's lost the belt anyway, wouldn't
he? Yeah, but he's got. The thing is, he's got that point, and he's got it.
I know, but I don't think he gives a shit about having a fucking belt. He wants cash.
Yeah, but you can milk it a little bit, can't you? Look at Martin.
I know, but Ramirez would have fucking schooled Martin just as easy as he schooled Abraham, wouldn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm just.
Liam's on the call.
Who's this now?
Hello, Liam.
Who?
Fuck knows.
Right, you're getting back.
Liam Smith?
Liam Toner.
Oh, he's left.
This is what happens when you put the fucking thing on Twitter.
So far.
How come he joined and didn't sell?
Where the fuck has Coogan gone?
Hold on, I think, what's going on here? I think I've just been banned off Twitter.
What?
I think me, because I just tried to tweet and it just says you're not allowed to perform this action.
No.
Right, well, what the fuck's going on here? Because we're just talking shit.
We were talking about fucking Abraham Ramirez and you just kind of veered off into fucking someone stupid.
Well, it was just a schooling. It was shit boring fight, wasn't it, really? And Abraham fought for about 10 seconds per round. He's going backwards.
I think I seen like earlier on that what Sky Sports Boxing says that Ramirez could. What was it?
Is either Mexican Callum Smith or
or it could be like Callum Smith or something like that. As if like, oh, tell you what, Ramirez, you've won a world title, but you can be like Callum Smith, who's won a final eliminator.
So he's top ranked, Ramirez, isn't he? So did you just say that means he won't fight DeGale or
you would expect he wouldn't, unless Porky Medina just fucking rocks DeGale's jaw and then beats the Ripper.
See the thing with DeGale though, I don't know about DeGale. I think he would be basically fucking saying to Heyman, listen, if he fights Jack or if he fights whoever, Lou's going to have that belt. I want to fucking fight Ramirez. I want to be undisputed champion. I think DeGale's just all about the belts and the money, and he knows that basically fucking belts mean money. Like he sounds like a proper boxer. That he thinks that The more belts I collect, the fucking bigger fights I'm going to get. You know, none of these wee fucking knobs like Broner who fights for a fucking dodgy belt, then jumps up and thinks that's fucking great. But I'm not high on the Gale or nothing. But I just like the way he's gone. He just fucking wants to fight. He wants to earn money, and I say it's like I don't give a fuck about people earning money. But I want them to take the attitude as the better fighter I fight, the more money I'm going to make. But we'll go back to it before somebody casts up. I said Frampton should fight Rigo, Quigg should fight Rigo, and it's no the fucking fact that it's high risk, low reward, right? That doesn't matter, because see if you beat Rigo, you are fucking pound for pound. You've beat the guy. Every cunt will want you then. You will be the fucking guy in the division, and people will be like, that people will start targeting you. If we fucking beat him, then we're the guy. Sometimes you just need to fucking put the money down a bit. If you, they're all making fucking good money. How much money is enough? Just fight the fucking best. And I think the Gale's into that. The Gale chased. I think he wanted to fight Ward. I know he says that Ward ducked him, but I don't believe that for a second. He chased Froch, right? So he was chasing the fucking. He was wanting to fight the best guys in the division. So it's not as if like, he's ducking any cunt.
Also, him against fucking Durrell must be the most high talented vacant title fight I've ever seen. Like you get these vacant title belts where it's like the 18th best Mexican in the division.
I always thought that was the IBF trying to shaft the Gale a little bit, you know.
I don't know, but
some of the fucking idiots who fought for their fucking belts, and then he happens to have to fight Durrell. I just thought they were trying to mug him off a bit.
I think you should have to beat someone fucking good for a belt.
You should do.
Makes a nice change for Brits, doesn't it?
You should do, but
I'm going to search the Gale sister right now.
What, Eloise?
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Is she going with everybody?
I've got a number.
Right, okay. Alright, Tom.
I'll put it in WhatsApp.
Coogan's back. Right, pal.
Oh, ask Coogan. He'll verify it. Coogan, have you got James the Gale's sister's number?
Have I got what?
Right, crack on. You was on about...
My battery died, and I had to find a fucking charger. I don't know where the fuck it was. I found it now, anyway. Right.
You fucking slag.
Where's Brian King?
He just called you a slag.
I'm here.
How you doing? Brian, why you still got TNT on? The geezer's fucking retired, mate. Get over it.
I'm not retired, though. Well, I'm kind of retired.
He's retired. He's gone. He's finished.
No chance. Don't dare this to me. He's coming back. You know it.
Retired to Duck Kelbrook, innit?
Oh, fuck off.
What's going on? Next big pod. What the fuck is going on? Right. I want to talk about something.
Go on then. Drop it.
Let's talk about fucking Fury, the role model, please. Fury, the role model.
See, the reason why I like Fury is because he's honest, he's not fake. I find fucking Joshua really hard to like because he's fucking media trained and he's fake as shit. Fury just says what comes in his head. I like that. He acts like us. He acts normal.
Yeah, listen, this is what I was trying to get out earlier on. Fury's just being himself. Joshua, a little bit more PC with stuff. I understand it. He's on Sky. I get the fucking way that they're trying to sort of build Joshua. I understand it. But Fury just don't give a shit about anything. He will say whatever the fuck he wants. And that's...
Who does better views for you then when you post a video? Fury or Joshua?
Depends. It depends. They're sort of... I'll be honest with you, they've kind of evened up a little bit. Like, I did a Joshua interview the other day, Monday night at the workout. Had 200,000 hits. I mean, that's sort of Fury numbers. So I'd have to say that they both sort of where Joshua is now. But people like to listen to Fury more because you don't know what the fuck Fury's going to come out with.
Yeah, like you did one like a few months back when he said he was walking around New York City with Lennox Lewis smoking weed. I was cracking up.
He don't give a shit what he says. And be honest with you, when Fury tweets something, I'd say 60-70% of the time he's just tweeting for reaction. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play the fucking game, and I don't really take too much notice of it. It's like, oh, it's Fury again. But to call him not a role model, you could argue either way. But I think you can't... How the fuck can you knock the world heavyweight champion, the main one? How can you knock him because of
You're only doing it if you've got an agenda.
I personally think there's a bit of xenophobia with Fury. I think there is a bit of fucking stigma because of his background. There definitely that is the main reason. Like, I mean, see what he said. There might be some religious people that actually don't like what he said, but come on, fuck. There's not that amount of people that get offended by what he fucking said. Every one of us says the exact same kind of stuff to each other. So I do definitely think it's because of his background. I mean, you see some of the stuff that him and Billy Joe gets on fucking Twitter. So
Listen,
I think that
Billy Joe is worse than Fury, but Billy Joe isn't as well known as Fury. So the limelight, being heavyweight fucking world champion, obviously goes on to Fury. But Billy Joe, if you look at the stuff that Billy Joe says and the stuff that Tyson Fury says, Billy Joe says a lot worse stuff.
Did Billy Joe not say that fucking Eubank pumped his boy?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, one of the few things that we actually put on, but a lot of Billy Joe stuff that he said, I've had to cut it out for his own fucking safety because he doesn't give a fuck what he says. He doesn't care. So,
Coogan, talking about Billy Joe Saunders, do you think that he'd take the Golovkin fight? Because that was quite big in the news a couple of months ago when he took the Bursak fight, which is shite, to be honest. Like, do you think he'd take the Golovkin fight, or?
I think if Billy Joe Saunders was offered a ridiculous amount of money to fight Golovkin, I think he would. But he's not even had a fucking defence of his title yet. Right, let's just slow down a bit. He's only beat Andy Lee back in December. What? Everyone's slanging him off and not going in with fucking Golovkin. Oh, please. Like,
yeah, but it'd be fine. Right, alright, I'd take some basis when they're not fighting Golovkin, but fucking Bursak, man.
Yeah, alright, listen, it's a defence. Do you think very few first defences are like elite level? Like Lemieux, right, took Golovkin in his first defence. It was a big fight. It was easy for Golden Boy to make, right? I did that. But if you look through first defences of champions, they're not fucking elite fighters like Golovkin, please.
But like, and the thing is fucking Tom Loeffler said, as soon as we announce Triple G's opponent, someone's going to have something to say. And he tweeted, so like Golovkin announced the fight, and it must have been like 5 minutes later, Billy Joe's like calling him out saying, "Come to England." That sort of stuff is what makes you look an idiot.
Listen, let me just say something to you, right? Billy Joe is a fighter that wants to earn, like most fighters, wants to earn the most amount of money and get out of the sport, right? Which is fair enough. You can't knock Billy Joe Saunders because he's not taking Golovkin in his first defence of his fucking title he won in December. You can't, please.
No, it's not that. It's not the fact that he's not fighting Golovkin. It's that he's not. And I'm not saying that it's him who's chose Bursak because I don't think it is. He's got a run-in for fame, that sort of opponent. But it's a fact that that's the thing to moan about. Because no one's done that, which is fair enough. Not asking for him to fight him straight away, but Bursak's not a world-level fighter.
All right, but look at the WBO. Right, look at the WBO top 15. Right, I'll be honest with you, it is weak. Yeah, look at the WBO top 15 ranked fighters. It's not great. I'll be honest with you, it's not great. Right, Tommy Langford is at number 4.
I thought it was going to be him who we'd fight.
Right.
I said as soon as he wanted that, and ended up being him.
If Saunders had been announced against Tommy Langford, I guarantee you there would have been more stick over that. Even though Tommy Langford is at number 4 in the WBO, there would have been more stick over that. Tommy Langford, and he'd probably deep down admit himself, isn't ready for Billy Joe Saunders.
To be fair to Billy Joe, he did say it's a shit fight as well. He said himself.
Yeah, Billy Joe knows what fight it is. It's his first defence. He'll look for a big summer fight. Probably against Eubank in the rematch. It is his first defence fight. It's just, you've got to take it how it is. Liam Smith again fought Jimmy Kelly. No disrespect to Jimmy Kelly whatsoever, but it was his first defence.
That's the worst one.
Who's he fighting now? Some cunt called Carruthers, isn't it?
No, that's not right. No,
I'll be honest with you, I don't know who the fuck did it. What's his name? Liam Smith fighting. I don't know who he's fighting. I genuinely don't.
Kogan, hello, mate. See what you said there about he'll probably be against Eubank, yeah?
Yeah.
And and Frank said in your videos, the last couple of ones, you know, looking for a big summer fight for him. And I said to someone the other week, it's like he keeps like downplaying Eubanks and why is he fighting Nick Blackwell when he could have fought for a world title? But then he keeps saying in your videos, well, you know, we sent our lawyer, and if you don't agree to it today, then that's it, we're done with him. But he keeps hanging out that olive branch like every video.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. All right, listen. I get completely what you're saying. What you got to remember is, right, before, it was hard work to get this fight together for the first fight. And it was an even fight because no one was world champion. No, Billy Joe was European, British, whatever champion. But it was a kind of evenly thing say. So Eubanks had more of a say on the terms of the fight, which is fair enough. So they want to get the fight together. They've got to play ball a little bit, and it works, and they've got the fight together. Now, we're talking about a completely different situation. Billy Joe Saunders, regardless of whatever, is WBO middleweight champion, right? He is in the driving seat regardless of where Chris Eubank wants to be. Chris Eubank wants to be world champion. So I know there's talks going on. They're still going on. I'm going to see Frank Warren tomorrow. I'll find out a little bit more about it tomorrow. But talks are still going on. But as we know, not just through Warren, but through Hearn, through Hennessy, the Eubanks seem to be difficult to deal with, right? Yeah. So that's evident. That's just not Frank saying it. That's Eddie saying it. That's Mick Hennessy saying it, who've all worked with Eubank. They've all stated that at some point or another, they're not the easiest people to work with. So this fight may take a little bit of doing because the Eubanks think that, I don't know what they think in their heads, whether they think that they're in a better position than Billy Joe, they're the bigger name than Billy Joe, I don't know what they think. But I get a feeling that the fight will end up happening this summer, and that is the best fight. I'd rather see, I'll be honest with you, I'd rather see a rematch with Eubank and Saunders than I would do Saunders and Golovkin, just for now.
That's because you want to see Eubank get beat again because you don't do your interviews.
Say that again.
You want to see Eubank beat again because you don't get interviewed by
No, do you know what? I don't dislike. The people go, oh, fucking, you must hate the Eubank. Do you know what? I watched Chris Eubank, and you can't deny it. He's exciting to watch. Like, he's exciting.
He's still a cunt, though.
He's a name, and he's exciting to watch. I don't wish his downfall just because he don't want to be interviewed by us. Like, I don't look at life like that. If I did, I want to fucking go and hang myself. I don't look at it. I don't look at Eubank thinking, oh, I hope he gets beaten. I don't. I genuinely don't. Billy Joe Saunders Eubank will be even a closer fight than it was originally. I think it will happen in the summer. But
it's a better fight than the Triple G one. Because it's
100%.
Yeah. Eubank hadn't done 12 rounds when he fought Billy Joe. Remember that. He hadn't gone 12 rounds. It was the first time he'd even done anywhere remotely near to 12 rounds. So he has slightly improved. Slightly. I'm not going to say, listen, level of opposition he's fought. He's fought Dmitry Chudinov, Tony Jetta, okay, and Billy Joe fought 3 years ago. So, you know.
I mean, I didn't. I might be in a minority, but I didn't find that fucking first fight close. See, when I look back at my scorecard, I had this on at 9-3. It was competitive. It was a competitive fight, but I still had Saunders clearly winning that fight.
Yeah, Brian, I had him winning the fight, but the first half of the fight completed to Saunders. Billy Joe let it go in the second half of the fight to allow Eubank back in the fight. You could argue some of them later rounds, but I did think Billy Joe, at least by 2 rounds, the very minimum by 2 rounds, beat Eubank. So it wasn't a robbery on Eubank's behalf.
But was it not a split decision?
Yeah, it was.
Hey, Coogan, you know when you thought Brian was dead? Or involved in a car crash? Who was it you text to say that? Because when you went on the asylum, you said you text someone, and they wrote back like, really? Like they was excited. Who was that?
Do you know what? I am a bit drunk, but I'm going to keep this sort of thing private. I'm going to make my IFL professionalism.
Can you ask Eddie why he keeps leaving our group WhatsApp chat?
Has he ever mentioned that, by the way?
You had me to,
Yeah, we
you
got
had me to a group WhatsApp chat the other day.
No, Eddie Earn we had.
Yeah, we had Eddie Earn. Well, we
Yeah,
used to. He's blocked most of us. Yeah, give us any number. It's a great fun. Eddie loves it, but then he just keeps leaving us, blocking us.
I don't blame him, to be honest.
But we're only asking him really nice questions. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Fucking hell.
like why are you such a massive cunt?
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
What are you going to ask Frank tomorrow then? You going to ask them cutting questions like you usually do?
What do you want me to ask him then? You tell me then. What do you want me to ask him?
Why you made Ricky Burns go bankrupt?
Oh.
Listen, you're asking me to talk about shit, right? that I don't know the full facts about, and B, again, it's kind of like.
All right, can you ask him then why he's going to go in Liverpool on the same date as Hearn is?
Yeah,
okay. I'll answer that. I can answer that now. Listen, sometimes it's a case of who gets in first with their dates, right? They're not waiting about for Matchroom to announce Bentley for the 4th, right? So they want to go with Liam Smith. They've gone on the 4th. It's now up to Matchroom what they do with Tony Bellew. Like that's what it is. It's like the whole July 9th thing.
Yeah, well, that's stupid, isn't it? Because Bellew's to draw in Liverpool. No one's going to... Like, Hearn can't sell out that Echo if he's got all...
But there's nothing to say... There is nothing to say that Bellew's going to fight in that date. They've not got any assurances yet that they're getting the stadium.
No, I think... Listen, you're right. I think... I don't... Listen, I'm not whole convinced about the whole Bellew, Makubu thing at Goodison. It's a hard sell to bang out 10,000 at the Echo, right? You're talking about going to Goodison, where it's going to look shit if you don't have at least between 20 and 30,000 people in, fighting Makubu, which people, the casual, as you like to be called, whoever likes to be called, don't know about. Listen, if Bellew was fighting Bernard Hopkins at light heavyweight, I'd go, oh, you know what? Hopkins is a name. At cruiserweight, there ain't a big enough name where a casual fan would know about to think, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, we'll go to that. That's a big fight. Blah blah blah. We'll go to that. So,
also, have you ever been to Goodison Park with? You're an Arsenal fan, aren't you? Have you ever been?
Yeah, I've been. Do you know what? I've been once.
It's a fucking horrible ground.
Yeah, it's shit.
It's like fucking wooden. Like, honestly, like with all the fucking cigarettes that people be smoking, it'll be up on fire.
Listen, Bellew's got his heart set on Goodison Park. I don't know whether Hearn's thinking, do the numbers work out, and blah, 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 because you can't have Goodison Park with 10,000 people there. You know what it looks like.
They should just do the Echo and fucking just bang that out.
Why don't you just put...
They'd have to go another date for it. But I spoke to Eddie today. They haven't made any decisions on the 9th of July, right? Whether they're going to go then, which is silly.
I can't think.
Barry
where would you go then? If you was... Well, you are. If you had to go to one, where are you going? Are you going to Joshua, or are you sending James to Joshua, or Sonny,
oh, you know
or whatever?
what? Let me just get one thing straight. I don't actually send James anywhere.
No, I'm not saying you do, but where would you choose
No,
to go
do you know
if you had a
what?
choice?
We'd have to just be diplomatic about it and split the week up, because I don't want to miss Klitschko Fury. Again, I don't really want to miss, if Joshua's going to fight at Wembley, I don't particularly want to miss that either, but me or James will have to miss one of them, so we'll have to just, like I said, sensibly split the week up. So I'll do some of it, he does some of it. Where we end up on a fight night, I have no fucking idea.
Good.
Go on.
If you get any inkling at all why Adam Booth left after one fight, or is it just basically because you've already said that they are difficult to work with? You know, Booth's not what a person to sit around if people aren't listening to him. He'll just walk away. Is that just basically what it is?
Yeah, listen, I always thought when the first press conference for Eubank to sign for Matchroom was, I looked on the top table and I saw Hearn, I saw Eubank Senior, Adam Booth. I thought these are actually four very strong personalities in boxing. This ain't going to work. This is not going to work because they all want it their own way. That's no disrespect to any of them, but Booth wants to do things his way, Hearn wants to do things his way, the Eubanks want to do things their way. You can't put them all together and expect them to work together. So that was evident because of the thing with Matchroom, and now what's evident is with the thing with Adam Booth. I don't believe Adam Booth is, well, he wasn't in the corner when Eubank fought Blackwell. So I think he is involved to a certain extent, but not as a trainer, it seems. Otherwise, he would have been in the corner for that fight.
Kogan, I've got a question for you. Can ask Frank. See, when was it? Around Christmas time, and it come out about Sky Sports box office, and you've done the interview with, is it George Warren, and they said that basically they can go on box office.
Yeah.
And they sort of said, they intimated that they had like a big fight lined up for this year that they was going to put on there. Now, Box Nation have just announced Khan, Canelo and Fury, Vlad, and there's like it's billed as being all for £12 a month. So what's happened to all this box office things? Because on the standard of, you know, the pay-per-view fights, I would have thought either of them two could have been one. So what's happened to all that talk of them showing fights on pay-per-view?
I haven't spoken to Frank about this since that time. Well, how long ago was it? About 3 months ago. So I haven't spoken to him about it openly or off camera or anything about that. So I think they found a way of being on Sky, not Sky Sports, but being on Sky and doing a box office thing. And they wanted to put that out there that was available to them to do if they wanted to do it. Now, as far as I'm aware, Box Nation subscribers will get Khan, Canelo, and Klitschko Fury. I'm not. Like I said, I'll speak to Frank about it tomorrow. But I don't believe there's anything in there that is going to suggest that. Definitely Khan, Canelo, because that's like next month. But will be on sort of a pay-per-view thing. So I think if what they're talking about doing a pay-per-view thing this week, it can really only involve Billy Joe Saunders against either Chris Eubank or Golovkin, and more likely to be Chris Eubank.
Like, I don't necessarily believe anything that Eddie Hearn says, right? But that's not my point. You know how when he says that Sky weren't interested in like Canelo, Sky weren't interested in Fury. I don't really believe that, but I actually think it's a bit of a coup that it's actually landed on Box Nation. I mean, I actually pay for Box Nation mainly because I like to watch it in HD. I know you could get a stream, but I feel as if I'm a bit of a hypocrite if I bitch and moan about shit like that and I don't actually pay for the channel. So I've got it. So I'm quite happy with the fights he's got. And every year it seems to come that Box Nation's going to close down, he's going bankrupt and all, but every year he kind of fucking pulls out the bag and he's got some right belt fights. I mean, some of the fucking fights over the next 2 months are actually excellent. I've only got Box Nation really for the international fights. Like, Sky don't really kind of geese that, and that's why I've got Box Nation, so I'm quite fucking happy with what we're getting. I mean, I didn't even know we were getting the Spence Algieri fight at the weekend until the day, so I'm quite chuffed. And when I seen that he go can, I was actually shocked. I thought I was a stick on pay-per-view in Sky.
I thought it was going to double that with the crawler card.
Yeah,
that's positive. But
you know what? As far as I know, listen, you can't say that Sky weren't interested in Khan Canelo, right? Let's just talk about that for a start, because they went out to 3 press conferences, right?
I see you at the presses, didn't I? And they was all there, Sky.
Yeah. But I think what it is, it comes down to the whole pay-per-view thing, right? Regardless of whatever, Eddie can't fucking put on 15 pay-per-views a year, right?
It would if he could.
No, but I'm just saying. So I think I don't know really to deal with the Khan thing, because in May there ain't really anything going on. But I suppose he's looking ahead to. He's already done 2, one in April, one in February with Chris Frampton. He's gonna go Joshua in July. So there's 2 other potential pay-per-views there. There's Klitschko Fury, there's Khan Canelo. Now, you would have said that Khan Canelo and Klitschko Fury beforehand would have probably ended up on Sky. But I don't know, maybe obviously Joshua's their priority. The Klitschko Fury one is probably a little bit more straightforward. They were going, if Joshua was to win on the weekend, which he did, they were going with a date in June or July with Joshua pay-per-view. So that was their option.
Do you think, Coogan, do you think now that obviously Hearn used to say it's not about the fight, the fighters, it's about the fight when he was talking about pay-per-view,
that's obviously not the case with Joshua because he's put on Joshua against Charles Martin, who's a bag of shite.
Yeah.
And now he's going to look at making Joshua against Malik Scott or someone of that level. So has he done a U-turn on the whole? It's not the fighter, it's the fight, or have you heard anything of that?
I don't know. It's a good question, actually. I mean, I've always said that I think it's about the fight rather than the fighter, because let's look at Mayweather's last sort of few fights on whatever, like Mayweather-Barto. No fucker wanted that. Yeah? No fucker wanted that. So, but that was a case of, it's Mayweather, what's billed as his last fight, that's going on whatever it is. All right, fair enough. Now, Joshua was fighting Charles Martin. Charles Martin was the current champion at the time. I can see why this is a pay-per-view from Hearn's perspective, because he's fighting for a heavyweight world title. Regardless of whether it's Charles Martin or Glasgow or whoever, he's fighting for a heavyweight world title. So I get where he's coming from now. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm saying I get where he's coming from there. Now, his first defence, right, whether that be Malik Scott, Bryant Jennings, fucking, who's the other one mentioned? Dupat.
It's not going to be fucking. It's not going to be Jennings, is it? Cross that one straight off.
Okay, but whoever it is, it's going to be a fighter of that sort of standard and level.
Like a B-level guy, like top 15, but not top 5.
Yeah, someone who's probably either fought for a world title, been a world champion, but not. It's going to be one of them fighters. Now, I personally, and I've always thought this: if he is going to Wembley, right, I'm not convinced that possibly sells Wembley out. I think to sell Wembley out, and I'm on about Foxgrove's numbers, you need a fight. You need.
Well, there's two, isn't there? Fury and Hay. They're the only.
Yeah.
Possibly Wilder.
To take Fury out, he's fighting in July. So say Hay, right? Hay Joshua does not comfortable, but that does the sort of similar numbers that Foxgrove's done. Now, unless he's putting on a spectacular undercard, and I'm on
Which
about,
he's never done.
Well, I'm saying a spectacular undercard.
Yeah.
I'm not personally convinced that he could sell out Wembley or get to Foxgrove's numbers with Joshua Malik Scott or Joshua Jennings or Joshua Eanston, whoever.
It's going to be 0-2 again, isn't it? Realistically, it'll be 0-2 in July, and then they'll think about the Wembley next. They can't just they talk about Wembley for every fight, but it's just never going to happen. You've got to have an unbelievable fight. Boxing's the fucking sport.
I agree with that. With Wembley, if you're going to Wembley, you can't bang 30,000, 40,000 people in Wembley. You've got to look to 60,000, 70,000 in Wembley to make it look, you know what I mean? For it to be an occasion or whatever. I get that. But I think Joshua needs to be in with like I said, a Hay for that to happen. I don't see 80,000 people. I might be wrong. Listen, what the fuck do we know about numbers and whatever? They know. They know. I don't personally see Joshua doing 80,000 with Joshua Malik Scott. I don't see that.
It's basically Joshua, isn't it? Like no one will know Malik Scott was out the 80,000 people. Realistically, like you see the crowds that Joshua gets. It's just like lads who go down the pub and say, "Let's have a night out." They don't know about Malik fucking Scott.
No, but listen, I know this is our argument of whatever, fucking people just tuning in to watch Joshua. Right, they ain't necessarily harming the sport just because Joshua...
No.
He's not harming the sport. Listen, people might have their say about who rocks up to these shows, who actually turns up. Are 78% of them actual boxing fans? Probably not. But if it's bringing more attention to boxing, then... who gives a shit anyway? If that's their first fight they've been to, who cares? Like, really, who cares?
They don't harm the sport, but that set of fucking idiots who sit there whinging and saying, "Oh, why are people moaning? It's great. People shouldn't moan about these cards," failing to realise that if we just sit and accept shit like that was, then it's going to get better.
What would you give that undercard out of 10 then?
6.
Oh, that's fucking generous. 6, that.
6. Listen, on paper, I'll be honest with you, on paper...
It was a 4 on paper.
No, but it looks. No, listen.
I'm doing it fuck look right.
Listen.
Fuck look right. They announced the world title fight
Hang
in 9
on,
days.
hang on, hold on. Who am I talking to? Who am I
Sam.
talking? Right. Listen. The budget of that went into that fucking main fight. That's not even up for debate. They paid Charles Martin a lot of fucking money to come over to defend his world title. The main amount of money went into that. The budget weren't there for that fight. I think for the budget that he did have to put an undercard together, it was okay. I'm not saying it was spectacular. I'm saying it was okay, right? For the budget that he had to spend on that undercard, I thought it was okay. It turned out the undercard, it wasn't eye-catching, or it wasn't a fight that really fucking caught anyone's imagination. But it was really about, no, listen, let's have it right. 18,000 people went there. 16,000 people went there for Joshua.
Yeah.
So,
but you could see that with the crowd as well. I'd sometimes wish that they just fucking put one undercard fight on and just had the main event, because the crowd just were bored as fuck. They were bored as us watching at home for the first 3 hours of the card, and it was like they were like the 1 to 20s again. It's like, no, you don't really need to see them on a pay-per-view card for me. I'd rather just have one good Chiefs opponent. maybe like you can stick fucking that Ben kid on just because get his name out there, whatever, if they want to do that. And then the main event, having fucking boring fights.
I agree. I think, and I said that to her today, there should be something on a card like that. There's got to be something like, I'll give you an example, like a Groves Murray, rather than, no disrespect to David Brophy, but a Groves Murray on
or
that.
Crawler Flanagan, something like that.
A very, very, something that you could argue that could headline its own bill.
Yeah.
On that card. Yeah? At least one. But we didn't really get that. Listen, Rose and Macklin was what it was, like I said. Selby, Hunter was what it was. But there wasn't anything in there, McDonald, there wasn't anything in there where you thought, fucking hell. Like, even, I'll be honest with you, Dylan White and Joshua, when they fought in December, I had one eye on that, and I had one eye on Spike and Eubank. Now, I know people are going to say, oh, well, Eubank was always going to win that fight, blah, 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 but there was at least something on that card that sort of...
Well, and there were Mitchell against Barroso, which turned out to be like it were an exciting fight because it were a big banger from
and Luke Campbell lost as well.
Yeah.
So that card to me was, I'm just saying, for anticipation and sort of a little bit of looking forward to, that card to me was a little bit better.
I think that card turned out to be a good card. Like, obviously, it helped that Dillian White put up a good fight, whereas obviously if Martin would have put up the same fight Dillian White would have done, no one would have been really talking about the undercard. That's the problem. That's probably what Eddie Hearn was hoping for, wasn't it? Like another Dillian White type performance.
No, you say that, but listen, if you're Eddie Hearn, right, and someone says to you, do you want to go through do you mind if I smoke? Sorry.
Right, you're not inside with us.
If someone says to you, do you want Anthony Joshua to go through 7 rounds of Charles Martin where blah, 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 or do you want him to take him out in 2? What the fuck is Eddie Hearn going to say? He's going to say, no, I want him out in 2, Joshua world champion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? He's not... Listen, it's all very well for people there to go 5-6 rounds, it to be a great fight, blah, blah. But from Hearn's perspective, he would have had Joshua out in the first round, like take him out in the first round if he could. Because why risk it? You know, it's not like he wants Joshua to fucking take him out as early as possible, not for it to go 7-8 rounds, and people, you know, bang on about what a great fight it was. His main interest is Joshua. So
yeah, no, you're right.
Kogan, do you think, right, that if he fights like a Malik Scott and knocks him out in 2 or 3 rounds, and then he fights the other voluntary bit in the later summer, and he knocks him in a couple of rounds, do you think that's sort of not going to help him when eventually he does come to fight someone like a Fury or a Hay, that he ain't going to have been like 10 or 12 rounds in a fight?
I get what you're saying, but don't forget, listen, Deontay Wilder got to fucking 32 odd fights before he went 12 rounds, right? I'm not comparing as in the level of opponents. I'm just saying Deontay Wilder got to 2 fights before he went, or 33 fights before he went 12 rounds with Stavern. I see what you're saying, but you've got to look at it. You've got to look at it sensibly, right? You can slag off Martin and say, oh, you know, Martin was whatever he was. But is it because Martin's that bad, or is it because I'm not saying Joshua's that good? I'm just saying that it is how
I think Joshua's very good against that level of opponent who don't move their fucking head and stand right in front of them. But like, if you've got that kind of size to you and you're that hard at hitting, then that's going to be the case. He needs to fight someone that moves and someone that's got a chin. Like Dillian White didn't really move, but he had a good chin. And now he needs to step up to someone that's a bit more slippery. And it is a hard division to put people in with, because you've got four good guys. Well, you've got Fury, Klitschko, and Ortiz that I'd say are top. And then Wilder obviously hits really very hard. Then there's the rest of them are kind of shit. It's hard to, like, none of them really step you up to put you in good stead against a Fury or a Ortiz, in my opinion. So it is a hard division to match.
I do think Hearn is underestimating Fury. Right.
Oh yeah, he's fucking writing him off.
I know you ain't going to say, because you got to sit on this fence, didn't you? But I'll just ask you anyway, just in case you're pissed and you answer. But who would you favour in that fight then?
Do you know what? You're 100% right. Well, two things you're right about. I am pissed, and also I'm not going to answer it. But
you're boring.
I will say, listen, Fury against Joshua. I don't think it's as clear cut as Hearn makes that, and I think to myself, yeah, all right. Joshua's ironed out 16 of his opponents, right? He's only not gone 3 rounds with one opponent, but you can't. I don't know. Listen, you can't. I think there's a little bit of underestimation there with Fury. He thinks David Haye would give him a tougher fight. That's arguable. Yes, maybe he will. I don't know. But I don't know. Listen, it's all very well to fucking go get carried away with it and go, yes, you know, he would fucking destroy whoever. But Fury has still gone out to Germany and done what no cunt has done for 10 years. Like, whether Klitschko was on the slide or not, he, you know...
Definitely on the juice.
You can't fucking knock Fury for what he done. You can't. I hate it when it gets,
yeah,
didn't throw the right hand for 7 rounds and Klitschko didn't do this and didn't do that. Well, Klitschko done it with every other cunt. Am I right? He done it with everyone else he was put in front of.
Yeah, this is what pisses me off. Like, before, Vlad was some killer and Fury was going to get iced a few rounds, but Fury beat him and now Vlad shot and he was shit anyway.
Listen. Hold on, sorry. Haye versus Joshua will probably be a more exciting fight. We'll have it right. Because their styles would make it a more exciting, explosive fight for fans to watch and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I don't even think that Haye should even get a Joshua fight because he's taking the fucking piss.
It would be nice when Fury takes him to school and after about a 6th round when they realise there's nothing Joshua can do and it just goes deathly silent in there.
Kogan.
That'd be beautiful, that.
But I don't...
Yeah.
Right. So, realistically, I've watched some of the interview from earlier. I've got the rest of it. Right, so realistically, the Fury fight ain't going to be until next summer, yeah? Wembley. It's going to be a big fight. Providing they're both still world champions, it'll be a big mega fight. That's Wembley, right? So, but Haye, like, Eddie never seems to mention Haye, and he did today, and he sort of like said, oh, like, he's a more dangerous... And I get the impression that, like, they sort of fear him a bit because they didn't know what he had left when he come back. And then seeing him, you couldn't really judge from what he done to Demori, but I think they fear, like, putting Joshua in with him. So they don't. Eddie doesn't ever seem to mention him. So personally, I don't think that happens until the following year, which is 2 years' time.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I can't see any of them fights happening this year because I think that what'll happen is Joshua will get he'll get 1 or 2 voluntaries before he's got to fight the winner of Takam and Parker. Yeah. And then I think it's probably set up for next year for one of them super fights to happen, like between either Haye and Joshua or Fury and Joshua. But listen, if they can do it this year, they will do it this year. If Hearn can get Fury Joshua this year, he will do it this year. Like, he will do it.
Oh, I don't know. I think they're both massive fights, and they're both Wembley fights.
They could squeeze a Wembley one out in September now.
No, he's having two voluntaries. He's already said so. And then it'll be next year at the earliest, and it'll be one next summer and one the summer after. So,
I think more realistic, one of them fights for next year, because especially if, listen, you can't bang out Fury against Joshua, Hay against Joshua at the O2. It does far more numbers than that. We all know that. It does far more numbers than that. You got to look to somewhere like Wembley. As the year gets later on, if Joshua's going to fight in July or June, and then fight at the back end of the year, the Wembley thing ain't going to really be an option as the year goes on. So probably more realistic for it to be next year. But again, like I said, he'll have one, maybe possibly two voluntaries. Then listen, it's the IBF as well. So when the winner of Parker and Takam happens, they're going to bang that on them. They'll have to fight them. He'll have to fight him. And then you're probably talking about 3 or 4 fights before this happens, realistically.
Yes. But, like, there's no fucking certainty. It's likely, but it's no certainty that Fury's going to beat Vlad again.
No, I agree. Listen.
This is what I've noticed the last week. Like, Fury's a fucking massive favourite now, but Vlad's still Vlad, isn't it? You know what I mean? He's not.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? That's not a given, that fight at all. I know people are looking ahead to Joshua fighting Fury, blah, blah. He's got Klitschko in front of him. He ain't fucking like Bryant Jennings or fucking whoever. Do you know what I mean? It's Vladimir Klitschko. So that ain't a given, even though it's at home here. It's not a given that he's going to win that fight. Like, we'd like to think he is going to win that fight.
It'd be an interesting twist, wouldn't it, if Klitschko won that fight, and if he wants to stay around after that, if Joshua and Hearn had bother going anywhere near that one, because that's the one that, because they always would, like, the plan always seemed like they were waiting until he left before they moved, because they seem to like each other, don't they? They always like respecting each other and blah blah blah. So it'd be quite interesting to see if they actually went for that, because that'd be obviously the biggest unification fight they could make if Klitschko managed to beat Fury.
No, totally. Listen, if Klitschko does manage to beat Fury, and like I said, you could argue now, when they first fought, you could probably say it was a 70-30 or 65-35 in favour of Klitschko. Now, the rematch is bang on 50-50. It is, because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You don't know whether Klitschko's had it now, and Fury's going to, like I said, it's going to be the. You don't know how that fight's going to turn around.
I think he'll definitely throw some punches this time, because I think Vitali will get him fired up, and it'll be more like a Vitali style fight, and he'll at least go for it. I think. I don't think he'll whimper again, because
But Vlad's seen something in that first fight that makes him think he can beat him, or he would have just fucked it off.
Well,
he's not just going to come back if he thinks, oh, well, there's fucking no chance here. And if they get rid of that stupid fucking towel boy, Jonathan Banks, who does fuck all for anybody, that might be a bit of a start, because he was just pathetic last time. He's no out 21. So if he changes trainer, and by all accounts, well, you don't know, a few seem to think they will, and Vitali seemed pissed off, and like he wanted to take more control of it, that's a change in things. And is Fury going to have the same, like, motivation to get up? There's a lot of moving parts with it, so it's not the same fight.
Yeah, I thought after the first fight, after they fought, I thought, do you know what? I can't see Vladimir taking this rematch. No. But the fact that it looks like, obviously he is, that he must think that things were wrong in the first fight that he can put right in the second fight. Now, listen, I'm not saying the fight. I personally didn't think that he was going to rematch him. I didn't think that he would rematch him. I thought that, but obviously he thinks that there's still something now that he can put right in, and he's coming over here as well. He's coming here to do it. So,
but I don't know. I think people should let that fight happen.
Right. Hey, Matt, I'm going to ask a couple of sensible questions because I'm in a decent mood. See, just for saying sake, Crawler beats Barroso, and look, Frank Warren and Eddie stopped kind of sniping at each other and bitching. Do you think there's a possibility that these two are actually going to work with each other and try to make fights that we actually want? Because we want unifications, and instead of kind of the two of them just getting digs into each other, because you don't really get that. You don't really get that way, like fucking hate Aram and all that. Like, they'll maybe say the odd snidey thing, but this is getting right personal. I just want to see fucking good fights getting made instead of the two of them always going on interviews with you and just getting digs into each other and like slagging each other. I mean, they're sounding a bit like me. I'm an absolute arsehole, but I don't need the promoters to act like me. I can do a good enough job myself.
I don't personally think, right, the two fights they're talking about at the moment, Flanagan Crawler, if Crawler obviously beats Barroso. They talk about Liam Smith and Kell Brook. I don't personally think that those fights will ever get made. I think at a lower level, British title level, fights possibly can get made. Not, forget purse bid, like they made Turton and Shinkwin, right? On that level, I think if Frank fancies his man, Eddie fancies his man, they can probably work something out. But when it comes to your world champions in your stable, i.e. Flanagan, Crawler, Liam Smith, Kell Brook, there's a lot more at stake. So it's a much harder thing to work out, and I personally don't think with the politics between the two, it can be worked out. I don't think so.
He's got a bit too he's always a bit personal now. You find obviously Frank's at the minute got the smaller stable in terms of like big names anyway, and a bit less in terms of he's a bit less glamorous, isn't he? Like the casual fan wouldn't know necessarily many of Frank's fighters, whether they'd know quite a few of Hearn's, and I sometimes feel like Hearn sticks the boot in a bit too much for me when I watch the interviews. I just think he's a fucking, however old Frank Warren is, 65-year-old man. Like, he's been doing it 40 years. I don't think he needs some little twat telling him that he's fucking not got as much money in his team at the minute. I mean, it makes me feel a bit awkward watching him sometimes because he does fucking go for it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would say it's awful sometimes because it's like you interview one and then one of them will have a dig and then there's always the response and then it goes back and forth and you just think, oh. But it's good to watch, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Watching it, it's great to watch, but it's kind of like it doesn't really end now because, I mean, I'm interviewing Frank tomorrow. No doubt that he'll talk about the weekend, obviously, because the weekend's just been, and then it's like a back and forth thing, but, you know.
You should ask Frank what his thoughts on this Briggs fucking charade is. Because I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
He did, didn't he? He said that he couldn't get licensed 5 years ago.
Well, what do you like? There's no way that this is the board's gonna let Hay fight him, surely.
Listen, if he fights on 21st, which he's trying to do, if he fights on the 21st, that means that regardless of whatever people are saying about brain scans and passing medicals, if he fights on the 21st, that's a good indication that the Hay fight will probably happen. So I'm assuming with them Hay announcing that he's fighting on the undercard, that regardless of whatever people are saying, that he's going to fight. Now, Briggs has gone home now. He's gone to Miami, right? I'm assuming he's gone home to start camp for fighting on the 21st. But
well, hopefully he can't get back in the country and do him a favour.
You love him, didn't you? He'd be in a view hall, and you must fucking love him.
No, listen, Briggs is Briggs, right? So whether you could argue, listen, if he hadn't been active for 10 years, right? He hadn't fought for 5 years or whatever.
He's been fighting fucking drunks and fucking taxi drivers.
Okay, listen.
The last meaningful fight he had, he nearly got killed.
Yeah, listen, the last meaningful fight he had was 6 years ago, right? Since then, I think he's had 8 fights. Since 2010, he's had 8 fights. Okay, I'm just saying that he. Listen, they're talking about Ben and Eubank fucking fighting, which is
that's bullshit as well.
Ridiculous. These guys have been retired for fucking 18 years, right? 16 to 18 years, right? Like I said, in Briggs' defence, like I said, if he passes the medicals, passes the brain scans, you can't, like I said, he's 44 years old. Why can you really knock him? If he's passing what's required of him, right? It's not like he hasn't fought. He fought twice last year. It's not like he hasn't fought.
But he's fighting fucking idiots and then going on to fight A who's just going to cause him some serious damage. And is he going to be fighting on a British licence or is he going to be pulling a stunt with a Maltese licence?
Listen, I have no idea.
They'd give fucking Fritzl a licence.
Yeah, but let's be realistic, Ainsley. Fucking James Toney were on a Matchroom show.
Yeah, that was bullshit as well.
He couldn't fucking speak or move.
Yeah, no. But it's not saying no, well, because
they had Katsidis on that had been to prison for like robbing people's fucking houses because his brain was that much of a fucking wreck. He managed to get a licence, so they'll let anyone fucking fight.
That's not the excuse to say they shouldn't have been fighting either. But Briggs fucking definitely shouldn't be.
Briggs is in better shape.
Right? And what the fuck's going to happen, right? And we've seen it before. So say he fucking clocks him and sends him out. He's done. Fucking I don't know. So it goes wrong, and he either fucking cabbages him or kills him or some shit. You don't know. It fucking could happen with how fucked he was after Vitali. Especially if he and John Lewis is reffing again and just lets him get his cunt rided into next week. Then what's going to happen? But fucking.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying that. Listen, that fight was 6 years ago. Yes, he did take a fucking stupid amount of punishment in that fight. Right? It's been 6 years, right? I'm just saying, if he's passing these tests, and don't get me wrong, I'm not one for saying, oh yeah, go the Maltese way or the German ball or this that. I believe that if he's gonna fight and he passes a British boxing border control medical, and he said he's already done the MRI scan. If he passes then you know, listen, what happened? All right, Hay does what? All right, Hay stops him, knocks him out, whatever. Okay, and blah blah blah. But that's not testament to what can happen. You don't have to be 44 years old and whatever for that to happen to you. We know from the last 3 or 4 years that it doesn't. That can happen in any sort of fight. That can happen in any sort of fight.
It can do, but this is
higher risk. Don't get me wrong. You could argue there's higher risk of it happening to someone like Shannon Briggs. Okay, but I'm saying if he passes medicals and brain scans, what's required of him, then what? You know, the Frank Bruno thing is completely ridiculous. The man hasn't fought for however many years. Yeah,
but
he's had well-documented mental health issues.
Yeah, but fucking Briggs acts like someone with mental health issues. He's fucking genuinely lost the plot. He's walking around like someone's stolen all of his t-shirts from him and just shouting one inane fucking catchphrase at people. If I did that in the middle of fucking Manchester, someone would either throw me in front of a bus or they'd lock me up.
Yeah, but you can't, just because of the way Briggs is, just because of the way Briggs conducts himself, you can't use that as a reason why, oh, he's off his head, he shouldn't fight. Because you could say the same thing about Tyson Fury. You could look at Tyson Fury and go, oh, look at Fury, there's some of the things he comes out of and does. That man shouldn't fight. But because of Briggs is 44 years old, you put 2 and 2 together and you think, oh, he's 44, he comes out with some stupid shit, he's off his head, he shouldn't fight. So you put that all into one bracket. But in realistic, if Briggs has sold himself on his own, right, he's come over here, he's been over here for 3 weeks to a month, right, he's made some noise, he looks to have, like I said, secured himself at least the fight on the Hay undercard with a view to fighting Hay later on in the year. I don't see the problem about him shutting his mouth off as a problem. If he fouls one of these like I said, a brain scan or a medical with the British Boxing Board control, then I think you can argue and say, well, maybe he shouldn't be fighting.
Well,
But,
I do worry though, the amount of money that Hayes charges to go and see him fight, and the undercard's going to be, like, you see how bad the Cobra is that he's fighting. Imagine how bad the guy Briggs is going to be fighting to try and make Briggs look good, so the fight with him looks good in the fucking...
To be fair, like, although
he could bring me up, and I'd probably say I'm probably too good for him, because I'll at least take him into the second round. That's how bad this guy's going to be.
I'd school the fuck out of him.
It is a farce, isn't it? But if he does pass his medicals and that, then
it's fair play.
By rights, then he should fight, and he's talked himself into a fight, and so you can't knock him for it.
Listen, the only way, like I said, always talk about brain scans and passing medicals, right? I would say I would trust the British Boxing Control and Border Control to make a judgment whether a fighter is fit to fight in this country. If people go a different route via Malta, Germany, whoever, right? That's completely up for debate whether people think that that's right or not. But I'm saying if he passes tests with our board, then I don't see the problem about him fighting.
But on that though, the past James Toney couldn't string a sentence together. You couldn't understand a word he said, and it's obvious to everybody that James Toney's suffering a bit of brain damage because of the amount of fights he's had. But what I ask you is, let's see after the Frampton quick fight, did Hearn burst out greeting? Because that was the Hearn started crying because that was a sore one. That wasn't just a loss to Quigg. That was a loss to Barry McGuigan, Shane McGuigan. It was just a beautiful night.
Why was it a beautiful night?
Because it was just a beautiful night. Like, obviously, I speak to Cal from time to time, and I've been over to see some of his fights, and I felt as if that Eddie got a bit personal that he didn't need. See when we got you on a 4, I felt as if I kind of went a bit hard, like, just kind of constantly fucking going on about Eddie Hearn, right? And I didn't want to do that because your job is to interview him. Your job is like you don't like technically you are Eddie Hearn, so I shouldn't have done that. But I just felt as if it got real personal between Cal and that, because right at the start when they done an interview with you, they says that they basically says that the McGuigan's one of the promoters, and then you had the interviews constantly saying, well, you'll not get Kiko Martinez, you're bumping into Rhodes, why don't, and Barry Hearn saying, why don't you come back to us, like, make proper money? And so I just felt as if, like, I mean, I'm a massive Mayweather fan, I like shit talking, but I just thought some of it was fucking, it was it got really personal that week before, like Joe Gallagher and Rob, we all know Joe Gallagher molests animals, right? But
shag dogs.
He get right personal, and I didn't want to get out of that fight because I knew what it was going to involve. It was just a big shite hawk. And
Brian, all right, let me tell you, right? Quigg Frampton, right? Now, I don't look at a fighter and think, right, I don't like his trainer, his promoter, whatever, so that automatically wants me to want that fighter to lose. Right? We had a few problems with the McGuigans, as people well know, right? We had a few problems. They've all been sorted out now, so it's irrelevant. But throughout the whole thing, it had nothing to do with Carl Frampton. So I never sat there and thought, do you know what? I'd love Frampton to get beat just because he's with blah, blah, blah. I never thought that. I never, ever, ever thought that. Carl Frampton has always been good as gold with us. Like I said, we had a couple of problems that went on a bit too longer than what they meant to go, but I never wish Carl Frampton any, like when he fought Gonzalez, he got dropped in the first round, blah, 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 twice. I didn't think, oh, good, just because blah, blah, blah. I'm not, I don't look at fights and think, oh, we're not getting on. Like, it's even with Eubank. I don't look at Eubank and think, oh, I want him to lose, just because his dad doesn't like us or his dad doesn't want us to do interviews with him. I don't look at it like that, but you're looking at it like a subjective thing. You've got a thing against her and Metro and blah, blah, blah. Like Quigg, how can you really dislike Scott Quigg? Like, what the fuck does Quigg say or do to make you think, oh, he's a cunt?
He said that he was a world champion.
No, but listen, all this world championship. Listen, we can talk about this for the next 50 years. It doesn't matter. We've got to get used to the fact that the belts are how they are. Listen, Tyson Fury sitting there, we know as number one, but you've also got Joshua and Wilder. You can't ignore the fact that there are 3 world champions, arguably with the Lucas Browne situation. I'm not including that, but you can't get away from the fact that there's 3 world heavyweight champions. So Scott Quigg, like I said, regardless of whatever, with him being the regular champion, Rigondeaux at the time was a super champion. On Scott Quigg, it's nothing personal on Scott Quigg. Brian, how can you tell me that you look at Scott Quigg and think, oh, you prick. Oh, I don't like you, right? You know, the thing in the build-up to the fight, yes, Scott Quigg was on one. He was trying to wind up Barry. He's trying to wind up Carl, blah, blah, blah. It's all part of the thing. But how can you look at Quigg and dislike Quigg as a person? Like, I find that very difficult for people.
I don't dislike the person. I just dislike the politics.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with Scott Quigg.
No, but he's part of the problem. No, he's part of the...
That's of your dislike for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. That's nothing to do with Quigg.
No.
I don't look at it like that. I never... When we had problems with Barry McGuigan and blah, 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 and it's unfortunate, but it happened, I never looked at Carl Frampton and thought, oh, fucking Carl Frampton. I never did. And I, in fact, in the middle of all this shit, I even told Scott Quigg in an interview when he asked me who wins out of him and Frampton. This was about 2 years ago.
Oh, I know, I've watched it. It was fucking hard.
I think Frampton would beat him.
Yeah.
That's not. Listen, that's not me being whatever. He asked me a question. I said, "Do you want me to be honest?" At the time, I believed that Frampton would edge Scott Quigg. He asked the question. He got the answer. He didn't take it personally. He didn't go away thinking, "Oh, he's a prick." Blah 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 blah. If you want an answer from saying, this is the problem about fence sitting, because you got a fight between 2 British fighters, right? You've got to maintain a kind of relationship with both of them. So I don't sit there calling fights and saying, you know, if Brooke was to fight Khan or so-and-so was... I don't sit there and go, oh, I think so-and-so would do it. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but I don't really think my opinion is relevant in that situation. So I think to maintain a good relationship with both camps and both fighters, you've kind of got to keep your opinion out of it.
Kogan, I agree with you. That's your job, mate. You're a conduit. You're like, if you start doing that when they ask you who do you think's going to win, it just makes it awkward for you, because when you speak to the other geezer, you know what I mean. So I fully understand why. You know.
Right, I'll give you an example. Right. Right. So say Brooke fights Khan, right? Say he does, and I go on record as saying I believe that Brooke would stop Khan, or I go on record as saying I believe Khan beats Brooke, right? Subconsciously, these fighters, right, they might not let you know that they take it personal, right? But in the back of their head, they're thinking, and the fans as well, the people that follow these people, are thinking, oh, you're a Brooke fan, or you're a Khan fan. Or, listen, who wins that fight has no impact on my life. It generally doesn't. Listen, we've spent a lot of time with Amir Khan over the last few years. He's been out in America. He's been less accessible than Kell Brook. But it doesn't mean, oh, I want Brook to win. I want Kell Brook to win. Whoever wins, wins. It doesn't make no difference to my life who wins that fight. But I'm not going to sit there and call a fight for especially on social media, for people to get into their head that you're backing Brook for the fight or you're backing Khan for the fight. It's pointless. So if Hay is to fight Joshua or Joshua's to fight Fury, listen, I'll have my opinion, and if people talk to me off camera, I'll give that opinion. But for the sake of what we do, I'm not going to start looking like I'm a fanboy of fucking Joshua, Fury or Hay. It's just, we can't do it like that. So...
Right, we're going to wrap this up because we've been on for about 3 hours.
What? The night is still fucking young, Kingy. What's the matter with you?
I'm up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That it's not like.
I'm up at 10 o'clock in the morning. What's your point?
Fucking 10 o'clock. I would love to be able to fucking stay in bed to that time. Coogan, will we be able to get you back on? Because like, I'm not wanting to kind of just keep going over all ground like with the same topics. I actually wanted to get you back on to talk about like, basically like IFL and stuff like that as well.
We hit 100 million.
100 million.
Was saying that at the
Well done.
Do you realise 100 million views? Like that's like an Oscar.
Basically, like 95 million of that's fucking Matt Bowes and James Hickson just keep watching the him videos.
Maybe, but do you know what? It took us. We've been going 5 years. It took us one year to get to 1 million views, and when we got to that 1 million views, it took us a year and a month actually. And I remember I rang James up and said, "Fuck me, we've hit 1 million views. Fucking great, honestly, we've hit 1 million views. Thought we that's it, we cracked it. It's brilliant, blah blah blah." Now IFL averages minimum of 1 million views a week, so that ain't down to me and James being fucking the best people at what we do. It's just we stick at it, we stuck at it, and we've tried to go from camp to camp and not look like people always go on about Eddie Earn, blah blah blah. You do so much stuff with Eddie Earn. The guy does 25 fucking shows a year. Right, just work that out in your head. He does 25 shows a year, right? Common sense tells you that we're going to be wrapped round Hearn more than anyone. If he's doing 25 shows a year, that's one every 2 weeks minimum. Do you know what I mean? We've made it more of a thing to try and go and do more stuff with Warren and do more stuff with blah blah, because I don't give a shit who's putting the shows on. I don't care. If Warren's putting 50 shows a year on, if Kelly Maloney's putting 90 shows a year on, I genuinely don't give a shit. We'll go and cover whatever we can cover. So, yeah, that was a bit of a pointless rant, but anyway.
No, but I actually did want to get you back on so we can kind of talk more about that.
I'm surprised so many people watch it though, Cougar. I'm surprised they don't. I'm surprised they don't all wait 2 days for it to be in. What paper is it? Independent or whatever?
Are we Doug at Bunsey at the end of the fucking show?
No, do you know what?
That's not Bunsey, is it? On that one bit.
Like I said to you, I'm not claiming to be a fucking journalist. I'm not claiming to be fucking Parkinson. But one thing I will say is, when we started doing our thing, we haven't taken the foot off the gas. So you may not like the interviews that we do, and you might not like things that are said in the interviews. You might not like the questions that are asked in the interviews. But one thing we have done is that we have stuck at it. Yeah, for 5 years, we've solidly covered as much boxing as we can. Like that's not even up for debate at that point. Whether people like what they watch or like what they listen, and you might look at interviews and think, oh, for fuck's sake, it's Hearn, it's fucking Warren, it's fucking this, it's that. But the fact is, we've stuck at it consistently for 5 years. So, like I said, not people are going to like what we do, not people are like the way we do stuff, but it's still getting watched. And there's a reason why it's still getting watched, and the reason for that is because we've been consistent and haven't taken the foot off the fucking pedal. And unless we take the foot off the pedal, it won't change. So,
congratulations. Rocco, stop talking. We need to wrap up. Just basically want to thank Coogan for jumping on. He's been fucking on for the best part of about an hour and a half. We'll get him back on. Whoever's listening to this, you want to just kind of like, retweet and review, leave a review, because
on iTunes, yeah.
I basically, a couple of people have turned down coming on because we're too extreme. So if we get better reviews, I'll be able to get better people on. But as of right now, some cunts are too terrified to come on. We might be back on Thursday because we've no
Yeah, we've got Dave on Wednesday, but that's just going to be a recorded thing, I think.
Aye, but I think we're going to be interviewing Dave Allen on Wednesday. So I've been your host, the Fat Jesus, and this has been Next Big Pod. Cheerio.
Bye.